This week's Honest Trailer is brought to you by D&D Beyond. Register for free at dndbeyond.com to start your adventure. Happy holidays from Screen Junkies. We're working on a ton of big Honest Trailers and some fun new stuff for the year ahead. But until then, here's a bunch of our old stuff strung together for minimum effort and maximum views. From the company that went bankrupt in the 90s and sold off the rights to its most popular characters, comes a film based on the equivalent of leftover scrap metal, proving that Marvel can build a franchise around just about anybody, except the Hulk, Iron Man. Experience the massive success that Marvel turned into a formula for printing money, where you take a half-forgotten B-list superhero, cast an unknown or half-forgotten B-list actor, have him fight a generic villain that will only last one movie, fall in love with a generically strong female character, make a ton of quips, talk a bunch of science, destroy some public property, cram Stan Lee in there somewhere, have a blue beam shoot up in the sky, set up an Avengers movie, and force the audience to sit through 500 visual effects guys' names just to catch a few extra seconds.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mr. Stark, you become part of a bigger universe.
You grew up loving Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman. Now, get ready for a hero that makes them look like huge nerds by comparison. And meet Tony Stark, a hard-partying, Robert Downey Jr.-ish weapons designer, who's the perfect match between actor and role that allowed him to spend the next 7 years making a fortune by pretending to look at a screen, pretending to play with some holograms, doing a little voiceover,
Keep going!
and basically act like himself until someone says cut. Nice work if you can get it. Cheer for a hero whose power is his intelligence, not some magical hammer, as Tony craps out new technology the way you and I crap out breakfast, like this weapon that's used against him, these weapons that are used against him,
I think you got a lot of my weapons.
this weapon that's used against him,
You remember this one, right?
this weapon that's used against him,
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave!
this miracle technology that becomes a weapon that's used against him, and of course, Ultron. Seriously, Tony, just do the world a solid and stop working.
Trying to rid the world of weapons! You gave it its best one ever!
So revisit the Marvel masterpiece that started it all, without which there would be no Marvel Cinematic Universe, no Avengers, no Guardians, no Winter Soldier, leaving Hollywood in the terrifying position of having to develop something original. Ugh. Starring Bruce Wayne, Miss Moneypepper, Obadiah Vane. Terrence, how hard could it have been to take a pay cut for the sequels? Obligatory Stanio, and the Iron Giant, Marvel Man.
Where is it?
Wow, that's gotta be the only time someone has ever looked cool riding a Segway. From Marvel Studios and Universal comes the second movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we're doing an honest trailer for because Infinity War is coming out. We've already done all the other MCU movies, and Black Panther isn't on Blu-ray yet. The Incredible Hulk. Meet Bruce Banner. No, not the one people like. Who's that? He never played the Hulk, did he? No, you know the one I'm talking about. The Death to Smoochie guy. There he is. Ed Norton shines as the first Marvel actor to show off how many crunches he did for the part. Abs. And he's bringing his incredible range to a role that has him act like he's on Xanax.
I know a few techniques could help you manage that anger very effectively.
Zip it.
While off camera, he's bringing his incredible ego to a full rewrite of the script under the fake name Edward Harrison. Do you want to get Terrence Howarded? Because that's how you get Terrence Howarded. Join Bruce for a story where he runs away from the military, runs away from the military, and runs away from the military again. But sometimes when his little Fitbit thingy hits 200, he'll turn into the Hulk, an unstoppable rage monster that's actually a huge danger to the entire planet, the economy of Brazil, and all of Harlem. Yeesh, I'm glad he flew off to not Planet Hulk. There wouldn't be an Earth left for Thanos to punch.
Hulk smash!
Before Gwyneth Paltrow took a 4-year hiatus, and before Natalie Portman took an indefinite absence,
I dumped her. This is a mutual dumping.
Liv Tyler dropped off the face of the MCU without so much as an Easter egg. Stand and smile as the actress spends most of the movie standing and smiling, as she doesn't get anything or even anyone to do.
I can't get too excited.
Not even a little excited.
You've always wanted to see the Hulk match up against a villain that could equal his powers. Well, too bad, because he's fighting the skinny British guy from Reservoir Dogs. He's a decorated veteran with zero personal connection to Bruce Banner and zero threat to the Hulk. But when he shoots himself full of tainted Captain America juice, he'll turn into one of the most forgettable monsters in the MCU.
The mixture could be an abomination.
That was so bad, he got his ass kicked all the way into Batman v Superman. Ugh. Go back to the days before Marvel had this whole universe thing on autopilot, where our nerd boners would only get little tastes of fan service. A sequel was only lightly implied instead of blatantly setting up 5 more movies. It put its post-credit scene before the credits.
What if I told you we were putting a team together?
And didn't make $1 billion. Oh, that's like Green Lantern money. Ugh.
No, I know what it's like to not live up to expectations.
So strap in for this odd sequel, requel, reboot, origin movie that's better than we give it credit for, because whatever you think about the film itself, it gave us Mark Ruffalo-Hulk
Puny God.
and paved the way for Ed Norton to join Wes Anderson's Fancy Boy cinematic universe. Oh man, I cannot wait for the Royal Tenenbaums to fight Steve Zissou in Budapest Hotel Infinity Floor. Okay, Green Goblin, nobody punches out Flash Thompson in this quirky hotel and gets away with it. Starring I Am Jack's departure due to creative differences, Iggy Pop, Lyca Ross, y'all got an Iron Man suit that needs voicing, and Teenage Mutant Ninja heroin addict, the disposable Hulk.
¿Dónde estoy?
In Guatemala.
Yeah, it's probably not the first time a white guy got so hammered in Brazil he woke up half naked in Guatemala. Spring Break 97, woo! From the poor man's Joss Whedon comes the forgettable follow-up to Iron Man. That's essentially just killing time until the Avengers. Iron Man 2. The completely disappointing sequel you fooled yourself into liking simply because it had Iron Man in it. Suit up for a feature-length version of the Nick Fury bonus scene from the end of the first Iron Man, which will still be unresolved by the end of this movie.
Tony Stark not recommended?
We've witnessed Tony Stark battle global terrorism and his inner demons. Now, prepare to see him take on his biggest challenges yet. Tedious government committees.
Can you please read page 57, paragraph 4?
You're requesting that I read specific selections from my report, Senator?
Yes, sir.
Corporate maneuvering.
It was an illegal seizure of trademark property.
Low batteries.
Another core has been depleted.
Alcoholism. And some guy with a bird.
I want my bird.
Is this a bird back in Russia?
A sequel so inferior, it will replace an awesome origin story with countless subplots you won't remember as soon as you walk out of the theater. A story that ditches technology grounded in reality for laughably unrealistic magic holograms.
Lucid landscaping, the shrubbery, the trees, parking lots, exits, entrances.
And substitutes Jeff Bridges with Gary Shandling?
Do you or do you not possess a specialized weapon?
Witness a superhero movie with just enough Iron Man action to fill a 3-minute trailer, but not a feature-length film. Trust us, we counted. Instead, sit back and prepare to watch Iron Man, attend corporate events, eat donuts, DJ birthday parties, and pee his pants. Experience the epic face-off between Iron Man and one of Marvel's least known villains, Whiplash, who's harnessed the most dangerous modern technology ever, only to waste it on a whip. A foe with no known superpowers, who somehow survives being crushed by a car. Not once, not twice, but 4 times. to defeat this madman. Iron Man's bringing in backup, and they are all just as boring as the rest of the movie. Pepper Potts, an inconsistent nag who's totally cool with her boyfriend being Iron Man, but freaks out when he drives a car.
Did you know about this? This cannot happen.
Black Widow, a sexy spy shoehorned into the movie just to establish her boobs for the Avengers. And Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes. Nope, no, not that one. Yeah, that's the one. Who has the skills to perfectly fit in and pilot an Iron Man suit without any previous experience. Wait, didn't Tony need like half a movie to figure out how to work that thing? A new chapter so thin, the key to the entire plot is resolved by a 40-year-old Easter egg from Tony's dad.
Tony, I built this for you. One day you'll figure this out.
Who decades earlier somehow knew his grown son would keep his old diorama, put it in an impossible-to-predict holographic computer display that can magnify impossible amounts of detail and reveal the chemical makeup of an impossible-to-create element.
Unfortunately, it is impossible to synthesize.
Which Tony immediately synthesizes in order to wrap up all loose ends.
Congratulations, sir. You have created a new element.
Someone got paid to write this? Starring Rob Stark, Mrs. Coldplay, better Terrence Howard, some guy in a Mickey Rourke mask. Oh, that guy from, he was in that one movie. A guy in a Gary Shandling mask, Vince Vaughn's BFF, Don Draper, Sam Elliott? No, man, it's bugging me. And Hawkeye with boobs. Iron Man 2. Sam Rockwell, it's Sam Rockwell. That's the guy. I loved him in Galaxy Quest. Prepare for a film that only exists so non-nerds will recognize the blonde guy in the Avengers, Thor. You've seen great superhero films. You've seen terrible superhero films. Now, prepare for a superhero film that's just kinda, I mean, I guess they did the best they could adapting a comic book about a bratty space god.
You are an old man and a fool!
Journey to Asgard, the land of Viking myth, where everyone gets a pointy hat. The gods live inside a CGI pipe organ, and the only way in or out is through the Rainbow Road level from Mario Kart. Meet Thor, the least relatable Marvel hero since Doctor Strange. He's an idiot demigod prince with a magical hammer that really needs to buy a vowel.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir? What's Mjolnir?
But Thor isn't the only god in town. Meet Loki, Thor's evil stepbrother, who will stop at nothing to betray his adopted father with the help of his real father.
I will conceal you, and you can slay him where he lies.
In order to betray his real father.
Your death came by the son of Odin.
To impress his adopted father?
I could have done it, Father, for you!
That makes even less sense than his plan from the Avengers.
Not a great plan.
Meet Odin, Thor and Loki's dad, who pretty much guarantees that one of his kids will grow up to resent the other.
Only one of you can ascend to the throne, but both of you were born to be kings.
Oh, and all these rejects from Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and Xena Warrior Princess. Struggle with the former god of thunder as he's stripped of his powers and banished to these 2 square blocks in the New Mexico desert. There, he'll acclimate to our strange Earth customs, like ordering in restaurants,
Another!
healthcare,
You're no match for the mighty!
traffic safety,
What?
and horse purchasing.
I need a horse!
We don't have horses, just dogs.
And give me one of those large enough to ride.
Watch as Thor turns to Jane Foster for help, a brilliant astrophysicist with supermodel good looks that just happens to be single, and who immediately falls in love with Thor for no good reason. Make that 6 reasons. Abs. So ride along with Thor as he loses, then regains his magic powers, hooks up with Jane, saves 2 different realms from destruction, and learns the virtues of patience and humility, all over the course of a long weekend. Seriously, this whole movie takes place over 2.5 days. Starring Thunder from Down Under, Lokimon, The Godfather, Idris Elba, Lord Zed from Power Rangers, One Broke Girl, and Portmandia. Thor's obligatory movie. So Loki dies at the end and comes back to life by the end of the credits? That's gotta be some kind of record. From the studio dumb enough to sell their Marvel franchise rights to Disney comes yet another movie that only exists to set up the Avengers. Captain America, the first Avenger. Stand tall for a superhero movie with an important message. It's what's on the inside that counts, except for when it comes to fighting or being respected.
Look at that. He's making me cry.
Or getting laid.
Women aren't exactly lining up to dance with the guy they might step on.
Meet Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Wait, no, that's wrong movie. Meet Steve Rogers, a grown man's head CGI'd onto a little boy's body. He's a skinny kid from Brooklyn who dresses like it's the 1940s, so basically a modern-day kid from Brooklyn. Watch as he becomes a superhero in the most American way possible. Steroids.
How'd you feel?
Taller.
Abs. He'll juice up to become Captain America, a soldier with the powers of being a little bit stronger than a regular strong guy, ultimate frisbee, and, super sobriety?
I can't get drunk.
Forget Tony Stark's ridiculous 3D holograms and return to an analog world full of lever pulling, switch flipping, button pressing, dial turning, and people calling out percentages with absolutely no context.
That's 10%.
70%.
That's 50%.
20%.
That's 40%.
60.
30, 60, 80,
40.
90. That's 100%.
Ride along with Captain America as he faces off against the evil Red Skull, who along with everyone else in sci-fi and fantasy is played by Hugo Weaving. Cheer as the Captain defeats his legendary arch nemesis in a brisk 2-minute montage. All to leave more time for foreshadowing The Avengers, introducing the plot device from The Avengers, unnecessarily freezing himself so he can be in The Avengers, and an after-credit scene that is literally a trailer for The Avengers. Starring the 90-year-old virgin, Tommy Lee Groans, One-Face, Two-Face, Red-Face, U-Face, German Capote, Dr. Strangelove, The Winter Spoiler, Agent Love Interest, and Robert Downey Sr., Captain America, the first Avengers trailer. Raiders of the Lost Ark did it better. Just saying.
From Joss Whedon, God of the Nerds, comes the movie blockbuster that finally unites the world's greatest superheroes that Marvel still has the rights to. The Avengers, the ultimate 2-hour geek fantasy that blinds all nerds from admitting any legitimate criticism and put all of DC Comics on suicide watch. A villain who inexplicably returns from the dead will vow vengeance on the planet where his demigod brother's sort of girlfriend lives, forcing this Bluetooth-obsessed government agency to assemble the heroes from Marvel's greatest franchises, except Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. Suit up with Iron Man, everyone's favorite secondary Marvel character who must redeem himself from the god-awful Iron Man 2. Thor, who sort of pulled off his own movie, but whose appearance here completely negates its ending. Captain America, no one's favorite character, who just kinda has to be there. And the Incredible Hulk, who for the sake of the plot can now suddenly control his rage.
I'm always angry.
Without any explanation. Which doesn't matter, cause that shot was awesome. Witness the excitement.
I need you to get to that engine control panel.
Of Iron Man repairing a spaceship for 20 minutes. The thrill of generic aliens on flying jet skis. The confusing energy source of the Tesseract.
The Tesseract can't fight. You can't protect against yourself.
And its completely unjustified failsafe. The explosion that instantly kills every alien, conveniently tying up all loose ends. The bromance. And the character in the middle of the credits who every nerd in the audience pretended to know. A movie so fulfilling, you won't remember that the first 45 minutes are actually kind of boring. A villain so determined.
You need the cube to bring me home, but I've sent it off I know not where.
You'll wonder why he's uniting the only people who can stop him in hopes of getting them to dislike each other.
Not a great plan.
Battles so action-packed.
Stark, got a lot of spray stuck in your tail.
You won't even ask yourself, how are they even all talking to each other without earpieces?
I can close it. Can anybody copy?
Do it! No, wait. Stark, these things are still coming.
Starring Boar, Pink Eye, Iron Man pooping, not Edward Norton, the Human Torch, Leather, Boobs, Mace Windu, and Gay Bane. Marvel's The Avengers. If this doesn't make your inner 8-year-old self squeal in delight, you're likely dead inside, or a girl.
When a terrorist mastermind kidnaps the president and brings a country to its knees, there's only one Marvel franchise that Disney can afford to call. I wish. Actually, just this guy. No, really. Just the guy. Not even the suit. Tony Stark is Regular Man in Iron Man 3. Prepare for an Iron Man movie with hardly any Iron Man in it. And no AC/DC either. Suit up with billionaire Tony Stark as he doesn't suit up in a summer blockbuster that for no reason at all takes place on Christmas, and see him like you've never wanted to see him before. Insecure.
I'm a piping hot mess.
Anxious.
Check the heart, check the, is it the brain?
And paralyzed with fear.
God, what are we gonna do?
With Regular Man sidelined by the whispers of children.
How did you get out of the wormhole?
It's up to his latest creation to save the day, Remote Control Man.
This is a new level of lame.
You've seen the Iron Man armor hold its own against Thor, the God of Thunder. Now, after dozens of upgrades, it runs out of batteries.
I need to sleep out, son.
Constantly malfunctions, falls apart again, falls apart again, falls apart again.
Whatever.
And takes its sweet time to assemble.
That. 5, 4, 3, come on! 2, 5.
Seriously, the Avengers assembled faster than this. But Remote Control Man's not alone. Tony spent his downtime building all kinds of robots that break faster than bad cosplay. Like Forearms Man, Choking Hazard Man, and Crane Steadying Juggernaut Man. Tony and his crappy suits must pull together to face his greatest foe since alcoholism. The Mandarin.
You'll never see me coming.
In a timely update of the character, Osama bin Kingsley plays the brilliant terrorist who manipulates the entire country into doing his bidding.
My name's Trevor Slattery.
Wait, what?
I'm an actor. The Mandarin. See, it's not real.
No, you can't do that.
Tony.
They were doing such a good job, then they turned him into a punchline? This is Iron Man's arch-nemesis. This isn't just ignoring the comics. This is dropping their pants and wiping their butt with him. What bad guy did they even replace him with?
I am the Mandarin!
Oh, come on! Instead, we get Aldrich Killian, an ex-nerd out for revenge after Tony skipped a meeting one time, and his nameless henchman with a confusing grab bag of fire powers, like glowing, getting hot, exploding, super strength, regrowing limbs, flame-proof clothes, and shooting fire out of their mouths? They really just made it up as they went along, huh? Witness the least thought-out sequence of the Iron Man trilogy, as Tony Stark gives his personal address to a terrorist.
10880 Malibu Point.
Then goes home and puts on his only unfinished Iron Man suit. Lets someone walk through his front door. Doesn't see the missile heading for his house until it's on the news. Still doesn't activate any kind of home security system, or any of the 40 other remote-controlled Iron Man suits in his basement, or have Jarvis call the police, or S.H.I.E.L.D., or an Avenger. So you're telling me Nick Fury shows up for coffee and donuts, but not when Tony Stark might be dead? So watch as the Iron Man trilogy ends with 10 of the franchise's most disappointing minutes, where Killian loses to Gwyneth Paltrow in yoga pants. All the Iron Man suits get blown up for no reason, and Tony has the operation that will make him regular man forever, at least until Avengers 2. Starring R2-DJ, Gooper Hero, Gandhi, Nerdy Memento, Murtaugh, Vincent Vega, and the worst extra ever.
When is somebody gonna kill this guy? Just saying.
And not starring the Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Nick Fury, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Agent Coulson, Agent Maria Hill, Selvig, or even the Galaga guy. Iron Man 3.
So you heard none of it?
I'm not that kind of doctor.
Dude, where were you the whole movie? You've seen Thor, the film that tided fans over until the Avengers. Now experience the film that will tide fans over until the Avengers 2, Thor: The Dark World. Thor is back in another perfectly adequate Marvel movie that pleasantly killed a few hours of your time, with enough cool visuals, action, and humor to keep you from wondering, why does the Elfman want to shoot magic Kool-Aid into the sky holes? Return for another post-Avengers movie, full of references to the Avengers.
You were in New York. That was for New York.
But no actual Avengers. Instead of Earth's mightiest heroes, watch Thor team up once again with Heimdall, the watchful guardian who can see everything, except for the spy, and Thor's girlfriend.
I can't see her.
And this gigantic spaceship directly above him. The Warriors 3, who are so replaceable they switched out one of the actors and you totally didn't notice. And everyone's favorite, Loki, the charismatic trickster who no one should trust by now.
You still don't trust me, brother, would you?
No, idiot. When he's not battling yet another forgettable bad guy, watch as the mighty Thor mopes around Asgard in a Snuggie because he's still hung up on a girl he spent one long weekend with and hasn't called in 2 years.
Where were you?
Natalie Portman returns as Jean Grey from the X-Men Phoenix Saga. With the help of her wacky sidekick, her other wacky sidekick, and her other wacky sidekick's wacky sidekick, they'll discover the Convergence, a piece of science mumbo-jumbo everyone keeps trying to explain.
Once a cycle, all the worlds align.
The alignment is only temporary. He must be in exactly the right place at the right time.
Physics is gonna go ballistic. Increases and decreases in gravity, spatial extrusions.
Whatever. Can we just see Thor hit something with a hammer again? Thank you. Travel across the 9 realms, ranging from Earth to Vanaheim to Svartalf to Asgard, home of the most impenetrable city ever. So ride along with the God of Thunder.
We are not gods.
So ride along with the Guy of Thunder for another celebration of the male form in all its beauty, featuring ass, tush, and pixelated balls. Starring Gale's brother, Natalie Portwoman, For Loki, Goldeneye, The Nutty Professor, and Oscar, Ken Jennings, Stanley, and Mugatu. Thor: The Dark World.
Now you're thinking with portals.
You weren't that impressed with his first movie. He wasn't your favorite Avenger. Now, get ready for the sequel that made everyone say, "Holy sh*! Who knew Captain America kicked so much ass?" Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The Captain is back, and he didn't skip leg day. Thrill as he ditches his lame Avenger suit for a cool new one, and shows off the full range of his vaguely defined superpowers, like super gymnastics, super throwing, super catching, and super jumping out of stuff.
Is he wearing a parachute?
When he's not kicking ass or taking names, follow Cap as he spends his free time freaking out kids at museums, hanging with his gilf, and catching up on the last 60 years of pop culture.
I'll put it on the list.
Man, Star Wars must have blown his mind. When Hydra returns, Cap needs to take him out by forming a team he can trust, including Black Widow, a sneaky double agent who he really shouldn't trust, and Falcon, a random guy he met on the street.
Sam Wilson. Steve Rogers.
Watch as Cap and two non-superheroes end up actually kicking a lot of ass together in a really entertaining, well-directed movie. What? We have to be honest, it's good. But since Honest Trailers is a comedy series, get ready for nitpicking. Prepare for the shocking revelation that Hydra has been secretly growing inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. all along, despite the fact that the previous Marvel movies really didn't do anything to set that up. And get ready to try to ignore questions like, when did Nick Fury stop wearing the bulletproof vest that saved his life in the Avengers? Why didn't Tony Stark find out about Hydra when he decrypted all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s files?
In a few hours, I'll know every dirty secret S.H.I.E.L.D. has ever tried to hide.
How did an agency that employs thousands of people hide the fact that half of its agents were members of a secret Nazi death cult for over 60 years? If S.H.I.E.L.D. had their hands on the Tesseract for so long, why didn't Hydra just use that to take over the world? That was the Red Skull's plan in the first place, right? And he was the OG Hydra. And if Nick Fury was such a threat, why didn't Hydra try to kill him before he saved Tony Stark's life, thought out their greatest enemy, and assembled a team of superheroes that would almost certainly stop any evil plans they had for the future? See, we told you it'd be nitpicking. So sit back and enjoy the best standalone Marvel movie since Iron Man, full of awesome action, awesome cameos, and one awesome twist they run into the ground, where Bucky turns out to still be alive, and Dr. Zola turns out to still be alive, and Nick Fury turns out to still be alive, and Crossbone turns out to... Okay, no one ever really dies in this movie. Still great though. Starring American Austin Powers, Mad-Eye Moody, Unfrozen Caveman Soldier, Lucy, Falcon Punch, Robert Red Toyota, and Hail Hard Drive, Captain America. He's cool now. So, Cap bets the safety of the free world on two people not wanting to buy gum?
Not a great plan.
Okay, we got it. Keep your star pants on. Without the rights to some of its most popular titles and its biggest stars' contracts about to expire, watch Marvel Studios scrape the bottom of the barrel for their obscure 70s comic book that barely anyone read, proving once and for all we'll see anything if you slap Marvel's name in front of it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Suit up for Marvel's attempt at Star Wars in a science fantasy adventure about heroes you've never heard of.
Star-Lord.
Who? Protecting a planet none of them live on from an underdeveloped alien villain whose problems you couldn't care less about. We're really reaching here. This was a fun movie. Journey across the galaxy to meet this gang of lovable misfits. There's Captain Star-Lord from America, the human leader from a different time and place, like Captain America. Gamora, the Black Widowish leather-clad female assassin, like Black Widow. Drax, the guy with the killer abs who doesn't understand our customs in a Thor kind of way. Groot, a big hulking tree. Get it? And Rocket, the wisecracking tech genius with a drinking problem, like Tony Stark. What I'm trying to say is, they're the Space Avengers, but I guess it's technically not stealing if they're ripping off themselves. Watch the Guardians race to find an excuse for more Avenger sequels by chasing after the Infinity Stone, an orb of world-conquering power that no one bothers to guard, and a gem so powerful it can kill you just by touching it, unless you're this guy. Or you can join hands to disperse its power, unless you're these guys. Or you can just jam it into a hammer and use it safely from there. It's best not to think about it too hard. You thought the Avengers was nerdy? You ain't seen nothing yet. Between all the action and comedy, get ready for a whole lot of space mumbo-jumbo.
I will unfurl 1,000 years of Kree justice on Xandar.
What's important now is we get the Ravagers' army to help us save Xandar.
So we can give the stone to Yondu?
And the remnants of these systems were forged into concentrated ingots.
Then, if you can figure any of that out, try to figure out why this blue alien isn't working with this blue alien, who's working for this blue alien, to kill this green alien, who both want to kill this purple alien, as does this Christmas-colored alien. But if you get confused, just remember the hero is still the white guy. So experience the swagger of a movie studio drunk on its own power as Marvel trolls the world with balls-out middle fingers to the audience they know they have in the palm of their hands. Oh, you like superheroes? Well, how about a movie that stars a fucking raccoon in a fucking tree? You like Vin Diesel? Yeah, well, we cast him and he only says one fucking line. You want more pedigreed actors? We'll put them in stupid outfits and make them say space bullshit.
All Nova pilots, interlock and form a blockade.
Because who doesn't want to be in a fucking Marvel movie? Hey, recognize that chubby idiot from Parks and Rec? We're gonna turn him into a sex symbol. That would be hilarious. Remember the worst movie we ever made, Howard the Duck? Stick that after the credits when everyone's expecting Avengers 2. It'll totally with our fans and they'll love it anyways. Speaking of which, remember Thanos from that one scene at the end of the Avengers a few years ago? Well, we're bringing him back, and he's still not doing shit. Why? Because f*** you, we're Marvel, that's why. What are you gonna do? Watch DC? Thought so. Starring Marvel Chris #3, Green Natiri, Draxon Draxoff, Chewbacca, The Coon, Blue Man Group, Dr. Steve Rule, and Darkseid. Marvel's Space Avengers. Okay, I get where Star-Lord's Walkman came from, but where do you get a tape deck for a spaceship? Galaxy Shack? After the mind-blowing success of the Avengers, the game-changing thrills of the Winter Soldier, and the unexpected surprise of Guardians of the Galaxy, you thought there was no way the next Avengers could live up to the hype. You were right. Avengers Age of Ultron. I mean, it's definitely good, just not great, you know what I mean? Like, certainly enjoyable, but, you know, oh man, we're gonna catch hell for this, aren't we? When the Mandarin seemingly killed Iron Man and took the president hostage, the Avengers didn't assemble. When Malekith almost destroyed the universe, the Avengers didn't assemble. And when a terrorist organization infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and came just seconds away from killing millions, the Avengers still didn't assemble. But when a remote Hydra base might be hiding something, every single Avenger is assembling all up in his business. For even more group shots! Hey, does that mean we can finally stop using this one? Joss Whedon is back at the helm and more beat down than ever.
In the second one, the job just got harder. Oh, I have all these restrictions, but I also have all these guidelines.
As he does his best to meet our unrealistic nerd expectations and tries to make a standalone sequel as good as Empire Strikes Back or Godfather 2 that also sets up Civil War.
Every time someone tries to win a war before it starts, innocent people die.
And sets up Infinity War.
The Mind Stone is the fourth of the Infinity Stones to show up in the last few years.
And sets up Thor Ragnarok.
We are all dead. Can you not see him?
And sets up Black Panther.
Wakanda, Wakanda.
And fits in Disney corporate cross promotions.
No strings, so I have fun.
In a juggling act so insanely difficult, he turned down the sequel, quit Twitter, and doesn't have any new films in development. Guys, I think we just broke Joss Whedon. He needs a hug. Experience the movie equivalent of emptying out your entire toy box and smashing all your action figures into each other as the Avengers roster bloats even further with Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, who for some reason are never called Vision, Scarlet Witch, or Quicksilver. One is a lame Russian knockoff of the X-Men that Fox did way better. One has hand-wavy mind control powers and can also stop trains. And the other is a beam-shooting 3D printed vibranium robot, plus Jarvis, plus the Mind Stone, who can fly and makes capes? What? Can one of you guys explain Vision to me? I have no idea who or what he is. You've seen great Marvel movie villains like Loki and... No, definitely not. Not even close. Huh, guess it's still just Loki. Now, get ready for another generically evil one-off villain who hates the Avengers for reasons, with an overcomplicated plot to evolve and or destroy the world by turning an Eastern European city into a meteor?
Not a great plan.
You've been waiting for years to see your heroes come together again. Now watch them fight for limited screen time, full of rushed side plots like Black Widow's Black Swan School, Thor's Magic Jacuzzi,
If the water spirits accept me, I can return to my dream.
Captain America's old party thing, and the most out-of-left-field love story since Spock and Uhura. But don't worry, there's still plenty of time left over for your least favorite Avenger to become your third or fourth least favorite Avenger. Aw, Hawkeye, good for you. We like you now. Get ready for everything you loved about the first Avengers movie all over again. Mind control. Again. Looking for Loki's scepter. Again. A Thanos tease. Again. A final showdown against a faceless army with a ticking clock. Again. And tons of grips.
Well, I'm decrypting nuclear codes and you don't want me to.
Guy's multiplying faster than a Catholic rabbit.
We won't hold it against you if you can't get it up. And he did a Banksy at the crime scene.
With the benefit of hindsight.
Stop quipping.
It's good talk.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't say you could leave.
You're all not worthy.
Language, you son of a bitch.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
You and Banner better not be playing hide the zucchini.
Clearly, you've never made an omelet.
You beat me by 1 second.
Oh man, these things are gonna be insufferable when Ant-Man and Star-Lord show up. Starring Mr. Rogers, Hank Pym, Beats by Bruce. Good luck finding her action figure, Archer, Farm and Furious. So that's what Andy Serkis looks like. Resting witch face, the quick and the dead. CGI balls, Super Siri, Skynet, and the new Avengers. Yay? Avengers, roughly 1 week of Ultron. I'm calling it. The S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier will become the MCU's Eagles.
The Eagles are coming!
From Edgar Wright, until he refused to get in line, comes a movie based on a superhero so ridiculous, you'll swear Marvel's choosing their projects on a dare. AntMan. You've seen Marvel movies based on green giants, Norse gods, and these weirdos. Now get ready for a hero so silly, no one can even keep a straight face when they say his dumb name.
Ant-Man?
Ant-Man?
Is it too late to change the name?
In this superpowered heist film that against all odds actually kind of works. I mean, it's still more believable than letting someone join the Avengers just because they're good with a bow and arrow, right? Meet Scott Lang.
Say yes, Scott.
Wait, nope, not that one. Yeah, that's the guy. A master thief who gets busted every time he tries to get away with anything.
Hey, little guy.
His life will change when he meets Hank Pym, the billionaire industrialist who lost control of his company to a bald former ally who betrays him and plots to use his advanced suit technology for evil. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it's the exact same premise as the first Iron Man movie.
If it ain't broke.
I mean, seriously, it even has that friend staring at the suit they'll wear in the sequel moment.
Next time, baby.
It's about damn time.
Thrill at amazing visual effects that make 70-year-old Michael Douglas look like 60-year-old Michael Douglas, and has harmless locations pulse with epic danger, like a briefcase, a toy train set, and Michael Peña's junk.
Oh, I don't want to see this!
In some of the most high-stakes fights between tiny people since Frodo versus Gollum, proving Marvel still hasn't run out of ways for guys to punch each other in the face. Or in this movie's case, sucker punch.
And now it's gonna blow up in your face.
Oh, you okay? Did I hurt you?
Show
That's how you punch.
Prepare for a movie that would be really stale without Paul Rudd doing Paul Rudd things. Because most of it is Hank Pym yammering on about some boring science crap.
I use electromagnetic waves to stimulate their olfactory nerve center. You must retrieve this prototype of a signal decoy. I created a formula that altered atomic relative distance.
Huh?
She turned off her regulator and went subatomic.
But separates itself from the other 11 MCU movies with a few unique twists, like making another schlubby comedian get abs for a superhero role, actually getting you to care about disgusting insect monsters.
Anthony!
No, not Anthony. Oh, man. I like that one because he had a name. And saying the one thing everyone's been yelling at the screen since Phase 2 started.
I think our first move should be calling the Avengers.
So strap in for the best micro movie since Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, as Marvel proves once again they can literally sell you anything, and they don't even have to try that hard to sell it.
Ants! Ants! Ant-Man!
Huh? Starring I Love You, Matt, Tony Stark Sr., Wasp Machine, the only Latino in the MCU, T.I. as himself, and the biggest Avenger they could get, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, and disposable Marvel villain number 9, Tiny Iron Man. Man, after this one, I cannot imagine these movies getting any strange... Oh yeah, forgot about that. You've seen them fight as hero versus hero. You've seen them fight as friend versus friend. Now, the greatest threat to the Avengers is... It's gonna be themselves again, isn't it? Yep, this is what happens when your villains kinda suck. Captain America: Civil War. Loosely based on the comic book crossover event comes the epic struggle that has your favorite heroes asking, is it better to be dickishly stubborn?
If I see a situation pointed south, I can't ignore it.
Or stubbornly dickish?
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
In a film that settles a moral and political debate, the only way superheroes know how, by beating the crap out of each other. Take that, regulatory oversight! The government wants to rein in the Avengers for when they recklessly save the entire world from aliens. That other time when they saved the entire world from a secret Nazi death cult. And again, saved the entire world from the army of murder robots they created. Okay, that one is on them.
Ultron. My fault.
Now, Captain America must get in line or face the prospect of an all-out civil war. Or at least one group sparring session.
You're pulling your punches.
One real fight. And a nice letter reminding us that everything is still hunky-dory.
Tony, if you need me, I'll be there.
What? You thought there'd be lasting stakes? Come on, this is Marvel we're talking about. Cap is back, and he's still a total beefcake, leading a team of rebels alongside his quippy black best friend.
Cause you're gonna have to go Mark Furman on my ass.
Hawkeye, who's great in small doses. Ant-Man, who's there. Scarlet Witch, who's still doing vague hand-wavy stuff. And Bucky, the man whose haircut was frozen in the 90s. Opposing them is Team Iron Man, his quippy black best friend.
Yes, this is Tony Stank.
Black Widow, who's still scissoring anyone she can get her legs around. Black Panther, the king of giving monologues into the middle distance.
Dead. It's not the end. The mantle passed from warrior to warrior. If I can help one of them find peace.
Whatever the hell Vision is.
You know, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, neither do we, buddy. And the best version of Spider-Man, complete with a pre-murdered Uncle Ben.
Hey, I'm Peter.
Tony.
If Tony gives him the great power, great responsibility speech, I am so out of here. Thrill as these former friends become enemies thanks to the evil Zemo, a man out for revenge by framing the Winter Soldier for the murder of King T'Chaka, which will, hold on, I forgot. Can we roll Zemo's plan again? Yeah. Rex's car? Really? Stealing a book? Okay. Not sure he drowned in that sink, though. Okay, that makes sense. There's no way he knew those guys were gonna show up. Wait, so he called the maid from Russia? Ah, the old captured on purpose ploy. Someone's been reading Loki's plan. Ugh, this is dumber than Luther's.
Not a great plan.
Can we just play the airport scene again? Oh, it's so cool. He was like the size of an ant, now he's a giant. Experience a film that's more than just mindless action. It's also about love. Watch Tony Stark deal with the heartbreak of dating someone whose contract expired after Iron Man 3.
We're taking a break.
The weird flirtation of this weird British Christmas robot and this weird witch who puts him in the friend hole.
Ooh.
And the greatest love story of all, as Steve Rogers once again pines for the plums of the man that only he and Tumblr really care about, as he tries to redeem this brainwashed killer caveman for the second movie in a row.
I don't know if I'm worth all this, Steve.
While ignoring two perfectly good boyfriends who are right there in front of his face.
We need you, Cap.
And now he has to go on the run before he can seal a deal with Peggy Carter's niece? 90 years old and this guy is still a virgin? Someone please have sex with Captain America already. Hell, you know what? I'll do it. I'll bend over right now. So go enjoy the hero versus hero movie that everyone loved, instead of the hero versus hero movie that most everyone hated, even though they're a lot more similar than anyone would like to admit. Featuring a non-superpowered villain, tricking a symbol of America into fighting a billionaire playboy, using an incoherent plan that includes blowing up a meeting of government officials, and using the heroes' moms to manipulate them.
Save Martha!
I don't care. He killed my mom.
That ends with an ominous warning from a prison cell and sets up a universe worth of spin-offs along the way. Uh-oh. Cue the airport scene again.
Oh, come on!
Oh, that's better. Starring Barnes & Noble, Robert Downey Jr., Meh Lysandra, Awesome O, Jeremy Aggener, Put a Bird on It, Walkie Road, The Spectacular Sony Man, Tahala, Womb Raider, another Blue Marvel villain, you know, 'cause he's sad, Brian Fantanta, and Giant Location, Headers, Vienna, Queens, 1991, Cleveland. Wait, there's no reason to get that excited about Cleveland. Captain America 3, Avengers 2.5. Boy, that escalated quickly.
That's you, right?
So how did Tony know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man? Would he just break into every teenage boy's bedroom in New York until he got lucky? Oh wait, hang on. That sounded really bad. After Ant-Man asked the question, you ever watch Iron Man, but small? Marvel's latest solo movie invites you to ask another. You ever watch Iron Man on weed? Doctor Strange. Experience the grand illusion that you haven't seen this movie before as you sit through the heroic origins of a cocky but capable, super rich, wisecracking, workaholic with a weird goatee, in love with a red-headed subordinate, learning to be less selfish, played by a famous Sherlock Holmes actor. It's like Iron Man, but actually that's it. It's pretty much just like Iron Man. Magic has come to the Marvel Universe, and not that it's just science BS that Thor went on about.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science.
We're talking acid trip 70s blacklight poster magic that bends space and time in new plot-breaking ways and uses mind-blowing effects to distract you from the fact that the action is still 90% punching. Shouldn't that hurt his hands? You cringed when he tried to do a southern accent.
Power didn't go out. I forgot to set the clock. I'm sorry, Mom.
You weren't sure if he was serious when he attempted a Boston one.
You know what, John? Good to see you doing so well.
Now, Benedict Cumberbatch will sound like an Englishman pretending to be a German man, pretending to be an American, in a feature-length tribute to Hans Gruber's accent in Die Hard when he gets caught by Bruce Willis.
Please, God, no, you're one of them, aren't you? You care so much, don't you?
Benny, Bubby, your natural voice is perfect. Use it. Joining the titular Strange on his journey from Act 1 protagonist to Act 3 protagonist are side characters and villains who are up to the usual Marvel standard. Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's just kind of there to explain things.
Temporal manipulations can create branches in time.
This is a relic. The sanctums protect the world, and we sorcerers protect the sanctums.
Mads Mikkelsen, playing a bad guy with weird eyes for the third time in his career, whose entire plan revolves around successfully ripping some pages out of a book to summon a malevolent demon who he hopes won't enslave the human race.
Not a great plan.
Tilda Swinton, a being of immense power, bravely guarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe from Asian actors.
She's Celtic.
And this cloak, with more personality than any of the human beings.
Stop.
Man, I want to see that cloak crossover with the rug and Aladdin so bad. Enjoy a visual masterpiece that has to be seen in 3D on a giant screen to be fully appreciated. Because when you watch it on a laptop, you realize just how much of it is medical mumbo-jumbo.
We need to get it prepped for a suboccipital craniotomy. I'm fusing transected spinal cords. I'm stimulating neurogenesis in the central nervous system.
Pass a stent down the brachial artery into the radial artery.
It's a complete C7-C8 spinal cord injury.
With a heaping side order of magic mumbo-jumbo.
The dark dimension makes them more powerful in the mirror dimension.
Saw the rituals in the book of Cagliostro.
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
The wand of a tomb, the vaulting boots of Valtor.
Pages that Caecilius stole.
A ritual to contact the Mamu and draw power from the dark dimension.
Wingardium Leviosa suck me sideways, this is unnecessary. Just shoot laser beams out of your wand and be done with it. So enjoy a film that, despite its faults, doesn't fall into the third act trap of battling a CGI army and a skybeam, saves money by replaying the same scene 13 times in a row,
Dormammu! I've come to bargain!
and sends a powerful message to the children. Modern medicine can't be trusted.
My spirit deepened, and somehow
Your body healed.
yes.
And don't text and drive, because you might end up turning into a wizard. Starring Benedict Wong, Benedict White, Bordeaux, Morpheus, You Mads Bro, Night Nurse, Circle Hands. Hands on hands on hands on hands on hands on hands, and Ricky Bobby Hands.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Stranger Things. So, Cumberbatch did the motion capture for Dormammu himself? Man, he really likes to goof around in leotards, huh?
None can stop me.
From Marvel and James Gunn, the director and studio who surprised everyone with Guardians of the Galaxy, comes a cool-looking, super fun, laugh out loud, but ultimately kind of forgettable sequel. What? It's still better than all the other Marvel Part 2s, except for Winter Soldier.
Is that better?
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. Blast off again with Marvel's Space Avengers, a team of misfits who learned how to work together in their first movie, then turned back into a-holes so they could learn it all over again.
You're like a professional ass or what?
In this playful action comedy where the heroes never really get hurt. The danger never really feels that imminent. And the jokes definitely don't fall flat. But let's be honest, they aren't as funny as the characters think they are. Okay, guys. It's funny, I know. Scale it back a little. Hey, let me decide when to laugh, all right? Oh, just shut up. Catch up with all your favorite heroes like Star-Lord, who discovers he's the son of a god and a moron.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I like the way you say it.
Gamora, who ditches the strong silent badass trope to become a strong silent badass with the more interesting sister. An ad for Baby Groot toys. Rocket, whose eyes don't work, apparently.
Damn it, I'm using my left eye?
I'm using my wrong eye again, aren't I?
Yeah, that's how eyesight works, you stupid raccoon.
Did I miss something? Newcomer Mantis, with the power of getting roasted by everyone.
You are horrifying to look at. I never thought she'd be able to do it with as weak and skinny as she appears to be.
Oh, I'm imagining being with you physically.
Including herself.
I'm certainly grateful to be ugly.
And Drax, the once tragic warrior who's become an aggressively dumb sex freak?
Did you make a penis?
I like a woman with some meat on her bones.
My father would tell the story of impregnating my mother.
I have sensitive nipples. It would make my nether regions engorge.
Okay. Look, you have a good thing going with Drax. Don't take it too far and Urkel your best character.
Ow! My nipples!
prepare for an episode of My Two Dads in Space. In a film that's so high on friends being your real family, you'll swear you're watching a Fast and Furious movie.
I finally found my family.
I thought you already had.
You are not friends.
You're right. We're family.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Space Dad 1 is Ego, the living planet of exposition.
I call it the expansion. It is my purpose. Now, it is yours.
As he proves everything's better with Kurt Russell, making Ego the living planet grounded and relatable, until he goes full Marvel villain and becomes a blue alien made of sky beams who wants to rule the universe. While Space Dad 2 proves that everything is better with Michael Rooker, as Yondu is retconned into a good guy who just wanted to be a good pappy. All to create maximum emotional impact when he's killed off in the most tragic Marvel death since, no. She was in her 90s, so he came back twice. He came back on TV. Quicksilver? Wow, I guess it's Yondu by default.
I'm very popular, y'all.
So get ready for a great time at the theater as they bring back everything you loved about the first movie. The music, the slow-mo walks, and the insane visuals. To the things you didn't think could come back, like the laughing at the dumb name bit.
Star-Lord.
Who?
Your name is... It's Taserface?
Rocket having someone steal a fake body part for him.
I was just kidding about the leg. What? No, I thought it'd be funny. Wasn't funny? He's not gonna know where his eye is!
And undercutting most of the serious dramatic moments with jokes, even the emotional climax of the film.
I tried so hard to find the form that best suited you.
It's okay, Marvel. We've been following these movies for 10 years now. You can let us go without a chuckle for 10 minutes.
Finally get to be the father I've always wanted to be. Excuse me, gotta take a whiz.
Maybe not. Starring Arthur Meme, Han Brolo, Greena, Warrior Princess, Big Blue Beetleborg, Drac Shepherd, I Am Merch,
Star Fox, do a barrel roll.
Whistle While You Murk, Mantis Toboggan, Ego the Slutty Planet, and Ready Player One. Dad Rock, the movie.
It's called a Zune. It's what everybody's listening to on Earth nowadays.
Uh-oh, the Zune is from the early 2000s. I don't think Star-Lord's gonna be happy when he finds out what happened to rock and roll. Since 2002, we've had 6 movies, 2 reboots, and 3 Spider-Men. Now, just when audiences might be getting a little sick of the franchise, Marvel swoops in to deliver a crowd-pleasing comedy that's gonna keep Spider-Man in theaters until the f***ing sun burns out of the sky. Spider-Man Homecoming. Tobey Maguire couldn't keep it up. Andrew Garfield couldn't get it started. But Tom Holland hits the ground swinging in a great reboot that just assumes you're all caught up on the MCU.
Pretty sure this guy's a war criminal now, but whatever.
Complete with a glossed-over origin story, an actor who doesn't have premature old face, and a villain who doesn't already have some forced personal connection to Peter Parker.
Unless his dad.
Alright, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Witness a brand new take on Spider-Man. He's a millennial now, who can't stay off his phone.
What is the current standard unit of
I take this real
radioactive-
quick? I'll only be a sec. Fine.
Constantly vlogs, watches himself on YouTube, and has zero patience for anything.
Hey, how long we been here anyways?
37 minutes.
What?
He's got all of the usual spider skills, plus a powerful new one. Never facing consequences for his actions, whether he's getting away with ditching detention.
Hey, where you going? Get back here.
Quitting on his team.
You can't just quit on us, stroll up, and be welcome back.
Hey, welcome back, Peter.
Falsely imprisoning people.
Shouldn't steal cars, it's bad. It's my car, dumbass!
Wrecking a car. Wrecking a store. Wrecking a ferry. Or wrecking his girlfriend's entire life.
Whatever's going on with you, I hope you figure it out.
You can be sure this web-slinger will get off with no more than a stern talking to.
You're a good kid, and you're a smart kid, so just try to keep your head straight, okay?
Okay.
All right, get out of here.
Wow, the older I get, the more I relate to J. Jonah Jameson.
He's a menace to the entire city! I want that wall-crawling arachnid prosecuted!
You've seen him as Batman and Birdman. Now, prepare for Michael Keaton's third winged creature role as the Vulture. He's a blue-collar guy who gets shafted by Stark Industries. And instead of filing a lawsuit against a billionaire clearly in the wrong, he'll build a giant bird mech jetpack? You'll be bored stiff when Vulture fights Spider-Man in bland CGI slugfests, but genuinely scared when he's just being Michael Keaton.
Were you scared? I bet you were glad when your old pal Spider-Man showed up in the elevator, though.
Sorry, Uncle Ben and Richard Parker. There's a new absentee dad in town, Tony Stark. Iron Man is back as the drunk rich stepfather you'd expect him to be, who'll build you a killer robot suit.
Activating instant kill.
Send you into battle at 15, then literally phone in his parenting until you screw up enough to get his attention.
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
Really, Tony? You just fought your best friend over keeping tabs on superheroes, and you just let your pet superhero run amok. Is anyone paying attention to the timeline anymore? This is approaching X-Men levels of sloppy.
So she sends Bishop back in time.
No, just his consciousness into his younger self.
Wow.
So enjoy another Super Smash hit whose success was far from guaranteed, with 2 competing studios fighting for control, 6 different screenwriters, and a director with just 2 low-budget indies to his name. Dang, it's like Sony finally cracked the code on how to make the Spider-Verse happen. Let Marvel do the work. Starring Tom Netherlands, Drunkle Stark, Only Winners Do Drugs, Chef, the disembodied voice of Jennifer Connelly.
You can call me Karen if you would like.
Marissa Tomei, Vulture, or the unexpected virtue of casting Michael Keaton. Technically in the movie, Tony Ravioli, Mary Pixie Jane Girl. Hey there, Martin Starr now. Not your Asian sidekick. And Wonder Woman? The perks of being a wall crawler. Bold move putting a set piece in an elevator shaft. Spider-Man can't catch a break with that. From Marvel Studios. The new logo still going? Alright, I'll wait. From... still going? Alright, here it comes. From... Jeez, how long is this thing? Just cut it off. Nobody has time for that. Great, now we're running behind. It's Thor Ragnarok. After the Dark World, Marvel is back with a radical new formula for the Thor films. Not making them suck.
Yes!
In an installment that trims all the dead weight off the franchise. From his love interest.
Sorry to hear that Jane dumped you.
To his homeland. To his friends you couldn't name with a gun to your head. To his right eye, to his dad, his hair. Dang, even his hammer? They just trimmed all the weight off, huh? It's like the whole franchise got on Hemsworth's steamed chicken diet. Abs. Meet Thor, God of Thunder, who, despite being able to shoot lightning from his hands, spends most of the film getting electrocuted. When Thor's father, Luke, Skywalkers himself into the afterlife, his sister Hela, goddess of pointy things, will return to claim the throne in an epic family feud that will make you wonder, are we sure Thor wasn't the adopted one? Put him next to Hela, Loki, and young Anthony Hopkins and tell me he's not the odd god out. Thrill as indie comedy director Taika Waititi takes the reins of a giant superhero movie, because when you're part of a $14 billion global franchise, why TF not? Now it's out with the old and in with the jokes.
Behold, my stuff.
Where boring exposition scenes get tagged by jokes.
I will tower over the mountains and bury my sword deep in Asgard.
Hang on. Give it a second.
Badass moments get tagged by jokes.
You wanted to know who I am?
And even heartfelt emotional beats get tagged by jokes.
Piss off, Ghost!
Yeah, they overdo it sometimes, but this is a movie where an orgy spaceship shoots fireworks over the Rainbow Bridge where Hulk fights a zombie wolf. If you're mad it tries to make you laugh too, you're doing it wrong. Follow Thor's exile on Sakaar, a collection of the galaxy's most colorful gladiators, garbage, and Goldblums.
Who's gonna get him first?
And thrill as it turns into the closest thing we'll get to a Planet Hulk movie, where Bruce Banner awakens to find he spent the last 2 years of his life as an enslaved killing machine.
I've been Hulk for 2 years? What the hell happened?
and take all of 9 minutes to get over it.
You want revenge?
I'm undecided.
Together, they'll team up with new additions to the Thorniverse, like the depressive alcoholic Valkyrie.
Thanks.
A Taika Waititi made of rocks.
Perishable rock. Okay.
And a mute bug with knives for arms. And they still have more personality than the Warriors 3. Dodge that bullet, Lady Sif, but don't worry, you still got it coming. Enjoy the first Marvel film where everything actually looks like a classic Marvel comic book that reminds us all Thor's a cosmic Viking created by nerds on acid in the 60s. It should look crazy, with the best bridge sequence since Deadpool, the best two-man laser fight since Starship Troopers, and the best vehicle chase sequence where the hero jumps out to take the bad guys down by hand since all the other ones.
Come on! Die, spaceship!
Hey, we found Marvel's new Skybeam. Yay. So get pumped for what's easily the best Thor movie, also the best Hulk movie, probably the best Doctor Strange movie, the second best Guardians movie, and shoot, probably the best He-Man movie we're ever gonna get too, that hopefully taught Marvel an important lesson. Don't fire the weirdo. Embrace him. Embrace that weirdo. Starring Happy Thor.gif, I Am Lord, Ya. Actual Jeff Goldblum. For the Horde, Ben Dim. Someone get this woman an untitled standalone movie. Heimdall the time they were able to get Idris Elba for. She's so thorny. George R.R. Martin. Sure, contractually locked into a cameo. Zorak. The current state of the DCEU. Could it be Satan? And Thor, the 4D experience, coming summer 2020 to Disney's California Adventure. Flash Thornton.
Look at these lies.
Note to self, before commissioning a propaganda mural depicting my peaceful rise to power, don't commission another mural depicting the horrible, horrible truth. After 17 movies, the MCU finally went black, putting out a black crude, black cast superhero movie that's one of the best ever released, leaving its haters with only one option: watching every other MCU movie ever made. Black Panther. Just when you thought Chadwick Boseman had called dibs on every black icon, he's suiting up as Black Panther, a superhero with the high-tech suit of Iron Man, the all-natural steroids of Captain America, and the invisible jet of Wonder Woman. But one thing sets him apart from all the other MCU heroes. Not because he's black, not because he's royalty. Nope, it's because this Marvel hero just won't quip.
Hey, people are shooting at me. Wait, let me put on my helmet.
Enough.
You froze.
We will not help you.
Did he freeze? Like an antelope in headlights.
Are you finished?
Wow, his dad just died and he didn't even crack a joke? I thought you had to be a smartass to save the world.
Dance off, bro!
Journey to Wakanda, a combination of the Jetsons and a 1990s Jet magazine. It's the source of all the world's vibranium, a material so powerful it tops Tony Stark's tech and Doctor Strange's magic as the BS that can do whatever the script needs it to do.
There's vibranium on those trains?
There's vibranium all around us. That's how I healed you.
This secret kingdom has been hidden for centuries, thanks to an ironclad policy of asking people not to say anything.
You will speak nothing of this day. Yes.
But after sitting out the slave trade, brutal dictators, 2 world wars, multiple alien invasions, and a sentient AI using stolen vibranium to destroy the Earth, they're finally ready to get involved in Bay Area real estate.
I bought this building, and that building, and that one over there.
Kitten steps, you guys. After taking 18 movies to get 6 quality villains, cry as Marvel takes just 3 movies to cut it back to 2, maybe 1. But for one shining moment, we had Claw, Andy Serkis's joyous portrayal of a guy who doesn't have to wear a mocap suit.
Oh, that was awesome! That was awesome!
And Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's Michael Jordan of Marvel villains.
Hey, Auntie.
He's the buffest dude to ever graduate from MIT, who's ribbed for your pleasure, and who actually wins the moral argument and changes the hero's mind.
Where was Wakanda?
All of you are wrong! To turn your backs on the rest of the world!
So wait, Killmonger was right? I am not used to this much nuance in my Marvel villains. Quick, make him choke an old lady so I know who to root for. Whew. Oh, there he is. While the boys are at play, it's the women of Black Panther who do all the work. Like Okoye, literal snatcher of wigs. Shuri, expert in weaponized memes.
What are those?
Angela Bassett as herself. And Nakia, who after all the debate between T'Challa and Killmonger, was making the same case all along and never got the credit for it.
Wakanda is strong enough to help others and protect ourselves at the same time.
Also, she saved the royal family.
Let's go!
Also, she saved the future of the Black Panther. Wow, I am not used to this much agency in my Marvel love interest. Quick, have her get rescued so I know who the heroes are. Get down! Phew. So enjoy this movie with great acting.
I must right these wrongs.
A great story, great themes, and great cultural significance that almost lets you forget the underdeveloped love stories.
Would you kill me, my love?
The terrible CGI. Or the big forgettable third act brouhaha. In other words, it's a Marvel movie. Starring the superhero formerly known as Prince. Oh, there's Wallace. Lupita, you're so fine, you blow my mind, Lupita. Lupita. Fear the shaving head. Bilbo Watson. Token white guy's joke. The best Disney princess. War Dog, Way of the Samurai. Buster Bluth. Got Out. I bless the trains down in Africa. And the Arsenio Hall Show. The Aristocat. You know, his heart's in the right place, but maybe don't let Everett Ross keep any guys with one arm in custody. Guy's 0 for 2. From the Thanos of Hollywood comes what could be the best movie Marvel's ever made, but without a doubt is the most movie Marvel's ever made. Man, there is just so much movie in this movie. Look at all that movie. Avengers: Infinity War. Journey into a new era of the MCU, where after 10 years of having to streamline their plot so normies would know what's happening, Marvel's gotten so big, they'll drop you right into episode 19, part 1 of 2, without wasting a second on who anyone is or why you should care. Because let's face it, you're either on this hype train by now, or the Winter Soldier using Rocket Raccoon as a sidearm won't mean shit to you. Don't you see? They're both cyborgs rebelling against their destructive programming to do good. Dad, why aren't you listening to me?
Are you yawning?
All your favorite heroes are here, like Tony Stark, the scientist who finds out magic exists and takes it in stride.
He came here to steal a necklace from a wizard.
But literally can't even when another quippy guy with a goatee shows up.
What is your job exactly besides making balloon animals?
Star-Lord, whose entire first movie was completely undone.
We'd like to express our profound gratitude for your help in saving Xandar.
He decimated Xandar.
And takes it in stride. But literally can't even when another buff guy with blonde hair shows up.
Are you mocking me? He's trying to copy me.
Captain America, who heroically accepts his reduced role as guy who knows a guy.
Can we do that?
Not me, not here.
I know somewhere.
Who could find Vision then?
Probably Steve Rogers.
Black Panther, whose lack of screen time proves no one knew how big of a deal he'd be. And Spider-Man, the boy who'd rather hitch a ride into space and die than stay home and be in Venom. You and me both, kid. But they're not alone, because all these other characters are also back, like Bruce Banner, a man in desperate need of a Phase 3 recap video.
Tony, you lost another Superbot?
Who's Scott?
AntMan.
There's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man?
The Avengers broke up. We're toast.
Like a band? Like the Beatles?
Scarlet Witch, the X-Man who's completed her Halle Berry arc of losing her weird accent as the movies go on.
Everybody's afraid of something.
Well, there are people who are expecting me too, you know. We both made promises.
Gamora, the emotional center of the whole story and the best actor? Huh, didn't see that one coming. Loki, slightly more dead than the last two times. The rest of the Guardians pre-James Gunn petition. Those were simpler times a few weeks ago. And Bucky, the one-armed artisanal goat cheese farmer. But they're not alone either, because holy crap, there are so many people in this movie. Like Rhodey, Okoye, Mantis, Vision, Falcon, Wong, Shuri, M'Baku, Red Skull, Nick Fury. Oh hey, where you been? Thunderbolt Ross? Again? Okay. Marissa Hall, right? Is that her name? Pepper! Hey, last Phase 1 girlfriend standing. Good for you. Nedry? And Hawkeye's name.
Where's Clint?
Wow, the only heroes missing are the ones on all those Netflix shows Kevin Feige hates. Next time, Iron Fist. Next time. Or not. For all the characters crammed into this thing, thrill as it centers around a buff bald guy trying to grow his rock collection.
They're minerals! Jesus, Maria!
No, Thanos. He's been looking for the Infinity Stone so long, he's changed color twice. And after he vowed in Age of Ultron to do it himself,
I'll do it myself.
He waited like 7 whole movies, including 2 that took place in space, and then boldly sent more of his kids to do it for him. You, sir, are a really bad stepfather, but dang, what a great daddy. Oh, yeah. Watch these movies catch up to one of comics' longest-running traditions, briefly killing people off to goose sales, where with a single snap of the fingers, Disney erased the box office potential of Black Panther, Spider-Man, 5/7 of the Guardians, Doctor Strange, The Winter Soldier, and 1/3 of the Avengers. And if you think these deaths are gonna stick for longer than a movie, I've got a copy of The Death of Superman to sell you. I mean, it's still in the original bag, mint condition, with the armband too. Come on, no one? How about The Death of Tony Stark? Death of Captain America? How about Thor? Nick Fury? Hawkeye? Okay, how about a copy of Infinity Gauntlet where the same thing happens and they all come back just fine?
Cool? Cool. So cool.
Starring... Who throws a moon? Honestly. 4 Stooges. Beards of no nation. He was a one-eyed blonde Thor flying purple people beater. Under Armour. Dumbo. Portal Combat! Tu Wong, thanks for nothing, signed the Avengers. Shorty LaForge, a hologram for the king. Teen Titan Blow. It wasn't me, it was the one-armed Stan. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
My Gamora.
Red Dead Redemption. And the Dust Us League.
Well done.
Game of Stones. So, we're just gonna give him a pass for pretending this was a standalone movie? Yeah, we are. As the MCU reaches its darkest hour, killing half of your favorite heroes in an instant, Marvel's next movie will answer the least important question on everyone's minds. Where was Paul Rudd? Ant-Man and the Wasp. Return to the franchise that everyone likes but no one really cares about in this satisfying episode of Marvel Season 3, Episode 8. And while you don't need to see the first Ant-Man to know what's going on, you definitely need to catch up on Captain America Civil War, especially if you're in the movie.
I really screwed up because they didn't tell me when we started this that I should go see Captain America. So when I read the script for this, I had no idea in the beginning what was going on.
You are everyone's dad right now, Mr. Douglas, and I love you for it. The cutest Marvel white boy, not named Chris, returns as Ant-Man, the hero who toes the line between effortless charm and just plain effortless. He'll team up once again with Hank Pym, the guy who invented an end to world hunger, then used it to build fighting suits. Hope Van Dyne, the first female Marvel hero in a movie title, and like the 5th female Marvel hero playing the serious one, rolling her eyes at a goofy male counterpart. And Louise, who makes up for being the MCU movie's only Mexican character by being the absolute most Mexican character.
Oh, my abuelita had a jukebox in a restaurant. Yeah, only played Morrissey.
Embark on a feature-length game of Capture the Lab.
I'm arranging some bars for your lab.
You got the lab.
Got to get that lab back.
We need to regroup and figure out where the lab is.
Tim's lab is gone.
Get my lab.
I want that lab.
I'll get the lab.
Lab! Birch got the lab.
I got the lab. I got the lab. The lab.
As our heroes race to save Michelle Pfeiffer from 30 years in the quantum realm, a CGI wonderland made of Doctor Strange outtakes, Easter eggs, and I guess beauty supplies because she came out of there looking nice. But hot on their tails is Ghost, a girl who just wants to cure her chronic pain.
It always hurts.
And gets the snot beaten out of her for trying. That'll teach you not to want pain. And last but definitely least, Sonny Burch, a regular guy with a couple of goons, a tan suit, and a crappy restaurant, I guess?
I've also committed numerous health code violations in my restaurant.
Come on, where's his tech? Super boss? He's going after 4 of the strongest, smartest people in the MCU with nothing but a cell phone and a dream. Oh, come on, Iron Fist could beat this guy. Iron Fist. Enjoy all the visual AntManery you've come to expect, where little things are embiggened and big things are constantly belittled.
If you two are finished comparing sizes,
creating awesome action scenes that spit in the face of physics. But according to Marvel, you can make science do anything if you just slap the word quantum on it.
Quantum realm. Quantum technology.
Quantum anomaly.
Quantum phase.
quantum spectrometer,
Quantum system.
Quantum energy.
quantum research,
Quantum void.
Quantum entanglement between the quantum states.
quantum healing particles.
Do you guys just put the word quantum in front of everything?
Hey, stop calling out your own lazy explanations. That's our job. So enjoy a film that managed to be funny and compelling, with good action and great effects, that would have blown everyone's mind less than 10 years ago.
This is awesome.
But because it doesn't further Marvel's 19-movie superplot enough, nerds will treat it like a pesky insect. How many planets do they visit? Just one? A pass. I don't get out of bed for anything less than a celestial. A good day, sir. Starring Big Hero Shticks, Smalling Down. If you like it, then you should have put a sting on it. Dumb Zemo. Definitely not Nick Fury.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
Office Park. A Bug's Wife. Phasing. Anthony Mackie. And Kevin and the Feigees. West Coast Avengers. I hope all the furniture was bolted down before you did that. Also, I hope you have a septic tank, because those toilets are not hooked up to anything. From Aw, it's all Stan Lee cameos? That's not fair. You're gonna make me cry, we haven't even started yet. Marvel is taking it back to the first Avenger. No, not that one. This Avenger. Before all the new ones like Ant-Man. Well, not that Ant-Man. Before Black Panther at least. Well, after T'Chaka was Black Panther, but before T'Challa, right? Look, I don't know. It's the 90s, okay? She's the 90s one. Captain Marvel. Journey to Hala and meet Captain Marvel, a girl with the power of spaceship. She's a snarky flying soldier with amnesia on a quest to recover her true identity. A snarky flying soldier without amnesia. Just don't tell her how to feel.
You're too emotional. There's nothing more dangerous to a warrior than emotion.
You struggle with your emotions.
Do not let your emotions override your judgment. Can you keep your emotions in check long enough to take me on?
Because this hotshot pilot likes to keep it in neutral.
We'll get to the bottom of these fears. Together.
Okay.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dreams again.
Carol, calm down. You're getting too emotional.
Okay.
Bring the Kree's not alone. Like every Marvel hero, she needs someone to smirk at. Like Jan Rog, her problematic Yoda. Maria Rambeau, her Marvel-issued black friend. Annette Bening in a dual role, as a scientist we don't really get to know, and a computer we don't really understand. The dog from The Thing, in cat form. And stealing the show, a facially de-aged Nick Fury. An effect that will completely fool the eye, until you notice him run. fight. Or use a keyboard. Uh-oh, Grandpa's in the computer building superhero teams again. You've waited years for Marvel to introduce the Skrulls. Thrill with the possibility that they'll be the next big bad after Thanos, because they could be anyone from Captain America to cute, cuddly family men? Wait, the Skrulls are nice? How do you not make Ben Mendelsohn evil? Ben Mendelsohn is always evil. We are so not getting Secret Invasion. Are you ready for a blockbuster? It won't take Alta Vista to find one, because Captain Marvel is a Street Fighter too, and she's onto your game, boy. So back off, trolls, and go back to the mall, rats. Her powers don't need to be nerfed, because she's not melancholy about rocking the vote in the bush. Leonard Cohen? Holy shnikes, these 90s references are as forced as the movies. 9 Inch Nails, Radio Shack. Alright, I'm done. So get ready for a film that's disappointing if it's the meat in an Infinity War sandwich, a solid watch if it's up against the other Marvel origin stories, and Citizen Kane compared to female-led superhero movies not named Wonder Woman. Look out, boys. At this rate, lady heroes will take over at the theater. Never. Starring the Captainess Miss Marvel, Nick Fury, Skrull and Clones, Law in Orbit, Esquire, Blue Man Troop, the Garfield your aunt still has stuck on her car windshield, Maria Rambolcott, Skynet Benning, Ekrov Ria et Niage, who? Paid DLC, and the screenwriter of What Lies Beneath. Just a fun fact I know instead of my daughter's birthday. Phone home.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. I'm trusting you not to eat me.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a stretch.
Oh, mother fucking!
After 21 MCU movies, prepare for the final conclusion of the Infinity Saga, and also part 2 of Infinity War, penultimate film of Phase 3, intro to Phase 4, and backdoor pilot for about 3 Disney Plus shows. Whew! You remember when movies just, ended, and then your imagination had to take over? Ugh, sounds exhausting. Avengers Endgame. The most successful crowd-pleasing global film franchise is back. But since life on Earth sucks now, it's all about grief. Loss.
Lost again.
Guilt.
It's supposed to be me.
Depression.
Are you crying?
And despair.
Thanos should have killed all of us.
Because today's escapist fantasy isn't becoming a superhero. It's going back to fix your mistakes instead of scraping by in the waking nightmare of your own failure. Can I do a time heist on my life? 5 years have passed since half the population vanished, or as introverts call it, winning the lottery. Ah, that looks nice. Baseball remains unpopular. Culture got frozen in 2017.
Damn.
And an actor shortage has forced directors to cast themselves.
I cried just before dessert.
Now, the Avengers must band together to do what every big franchise does when they write themselves into a corner. Time travel. Watch the surviving heroes dissemble for a Now That's What I Call Marvel tour of your fandom, with several alternate camera angles on the Avengers.
I'll have that drink now.
A trip to the S.H.I.E.L.D. base where they store all the movie's closure.
Thank you for everything.
The cliffs that demand you lose someone you love, or at least your work bestie, and a daring raid to justify the existence of Thor the Dark World, in a plot held together by a whole bunch of wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey stuff they'll try to explain 100 times.
Either it's all a joke or none of it is.
None of it's a joke. Now explain yourself.
If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future, and your former present becomes the past, which can't now be changed by your new future.
Now explain it again with a visual aid.
The Infinity Stones create what you experience as the flow of time. Remove one of the stones, and that flow splits.
Now explain it again, but simpler.
We're not trying to stop something I'm going to do in our time. We're trying to undo something I've already done in theirs.
Even simpler.
Changing the past doesn't change the future.
You know, maybe time travel's a paradox no matter how it gets justified. See? Reunite with all your favorite Marvel heroes who aren't clogging up an air filter somewhere. Like Iron Man, who's really matured since Iron Man 1, but is still the a-hole who'd rather die than let someone else get the last word.
I am inevitable.
And I am Iron Man.
Captain America, who after spending a decade in the present day, has learned to curse.
Son of a bitch. Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Lie.
Hell, I do.
And look at guys' butts.
That is America's ass.
Thor, who it's okay to make fat jokes about because he's also suffering from a very realistic post-traumatic stress disorder.
What do you think is coursing through my veins right now?
Cheese whiz?
He's struggling. The Hulk, who cut down on the runtime by finishing his arc before the movie starts.
I know, it's crazy.
Hawkeye, who deals with the loss of his family by having a very cyberpunk midlife crisis. AntMan, who thanks to the internet's brain poisoning is a letdown every time he's not inside Thanos' ass.
Flick me.
Black Widow, who finally gets a primary storyline in one of these movies, killing herself to motivate the boys.
We have to make it worth it.
At least you can tell the passage of time by her hair. That's something. Rhodey, hoping and praying they don't travel back before Iron Man 2. Nebula, who ruins the Avengers' plan so many times, the most helpful thing she does is kill Nebula. And Captain Marvel, who's so powerful, the movie desperately finds excuses to leave her out.
The things that are happening on Earth are happening everywhere, so you might not see me for a long time.
Until it comes up with an excuse to bring her in. So Marvel can finally have her lead the first all-female Avengers team-up shot. Woo! Maybe Marvel will let them team up together in a sequel? Ugh. Okay, maybe they can all pose again in the background of the Loki show? Remember Thanos, the MCU's most complex and motivated villain yet? He did. And taking his place is old Thanos. New old Thanos. Younger old Thanos? You know, the version who sits and lets everyone else do all the work.
Find the stones.
What will you do?
Wait.
Who steals his evil plans from Spaceballs.
Reduced to atoms.
You used them 2 days ago.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now.
What did you do to them?
Nothing. Yet.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
And who commands a faceless CGI army, the likes of which we have never seen before, since his last 2 faceless CGI armies. But whatever, watching him fight Thundercat was the best moment of my life, and I'm including the birth of my children, guys. Sorry, kids, you're just not worthy of my time and attention. So in a world where everyone hates Game of Thrones now, everyone's worried about Star Wars, and J.K. Rowling won't stop crapping on the floor of her legacy, it's a minor miracle we got a satisfying conclusion to a global nerd franchise. Now just do it again, forever, or the entire film industry will collapse. No sympathy from us, Disney. You did this to yourself. Starring Iron Deficient Man, One Punch Woman, Captain Clench, and Hardly Wait. I am Roots. BoJack Norseman. Jeremy Renner's one big line of acting.
Go grab your hammer, and you go fly and you talk to him.
Go downstairs. Go help. They need you right now. We need more Russos. Give me more Russos.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Hazy Ex-Girlfriend. Werther's original Avenger. And Ratman and Time Van. Coming soon to Disney+. I Love You 2.8 billion. Oh my god, her mobile plan is still active? Clint, you gotta turn off autopay, man. From the studios who act like divorced parents arguing over where their kid spends Christmas comes an MCU catch-up movie that's all about the Tony Stark-shaped hole in the universe. Are we sure Disney even wants to make a Spider-Man movie?
You're not Iron Man. You're never gonna be Iron Man.
Spider-Man: Far From Home. Marvel fans everywhere, prepare to get a feature-length dopamine rush off that sweet intra-franchise consistency, featuring tons of Iron Man, loads of Endgame.
They called it the blip.
Juicy kernels of Phase 4.
I thought Kree having sleeper cells was top secret information.
Nick.
And, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, Spider-Man goes on vacation.
These no.
Oh, concept seems a little Disney Plus to me. Wake me up when he gets to Space Wakanda. In between setting up the next episode of MCU, hop aboard the kind of teen Euro road trip sex romp not seen since Euro Trip, Road Trip, or Sex Drive.
Don't.
Where he'll be joined by his very own Stifler.
What about our plan? American bachelors in Europe.
2 teachers plugged from a 90s sitcom.
They join forces like the Power Rangers. You're thinking of Voltron. Who? Voltron. You're thinking of Voltron.
And Mary Jane, the YA reboot of Debbie Downer.
I'm glad we're doing this.
You know they used to execute people on this bridge?
So Paris tomorrow. Go to the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I read it was secretly built as a mind control antenna to create an army of the insane.
You want to watch a movie?
Only if it's depressing.
She seems nice. I just hope she doesn't end up like his other girlfriends.
My wife and I split up.
Whatever's going on with you, I hope you figure it out.
Watch Spider-Man gain a powerful new ally from the multiverse known as Mysterio. Mysterio? You think we don't know the guy in the Sinister Six is gonna be the villain? Like they're gonna spend the whole movie fighting a wave. Jake Gyllenhaal shines as a fishbowl with haunted house powers who's out for revenge on Tony Stark. You know, the already dead guy. Because even in death, Iron Man is the only force powerful enough to motivate an MCU bad guy. Dude's company was like an arc reactor for haters.
Our former boss, Tony Stark.
Just get a job at Hammer Industries, you dorks. Thrill as Mysterio plays on Spider-Man's only weakness, getting hit in the face with a train. Just kidding, he's fine. Don't be ridiculous. No, he'll strike at the one thing Peter lacks most of all, an adult male who isn't perving out on his aunt.
Hey, May. How you doing? What are you wearing? Something skimpy, I hope.
How's your aunt?
You look lovely. New dress?
Yes, it is.
Sticky rice pudding.
Well, we didn't order that.
It's on the house.
Watch Mysterio play on his trust to steal Edith, a global drone assassination program that Tony left to a teenager, which, fine, that's kinda his thing.
Activating instant kill.
No.
But this murder machine is hidden inside a pair of sunglasses? That's the world's most commonly lost item. You might as well give him a pen full of Ebola.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
They were just on the floor?
So get ready for the third Spider-Man 2, which perfectly sets up a second Spider-Man 3.
Thought that was over.
That audiences won't see until Feige's schedule clears up in 2024. But no whining, because if the rights stay with Sony, you get a Spider-Man movie every year. Plus one with Venom, one with Jared Leto's Morbius, Madam Web.
What the f?
Yeah, it's probably better this way. Starring... Let me see that Tom. Gyllenhaal, and let God sort him out. Zendaya. La 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 la. Trick Fury. 90-Day Tomei Fiancé. Uh-oh, nobody tell Aunt May about Happy and Black Widow. Flash. Aww. Make him Hobgoblin, you cowards. Only begun. This drum war has. And every non-MCU filmmaker.
You can be the smartest guy in the room, the most qualified, and no one cares. Unless you're flying around with a cape or shooting lasers from your hands, no one will even listen.
The boy who was friends with Iron Man. You know who low-key has the darkest backstory in the MCU? Flash Thompson.
Could Mother not make it?
Your son almost died like twice, you monster! Do you like TV shows? How about a TV show about some TV shows? About some TV shows that is a TV show, watched by the characters inside a TV show. WandaVision, the TV show. You said huh when they bonded over their vaguely defined superpowers.
I'm still me, I think.
Do you know I don't know what this is?
You said, oh, okay, when they dated for 2 years off camera.
Wanda, for 2 years, we've stolen these moments.
And you thought, well, I guess that's over when this happened. But ever since Cap left Bucky for this homewrecker, Wanda and Vision are the closest thing Marvel has to a healthy relationship, even though she's torturing a small town with her mind.
When you let us sleep, we have your nightmares.
Your grief is poisoning us.
And he's her imaginary vibrator programmed only to love.
You can't control me the way you do them.
Can't I?
Watch this power couple cosplay through some of history's most delightful sitcoms, from Modern Family
It's probably just a case of the Mondays.
to Malcolm in the Middle,
Mom's been weird since Uncle Pietro got here.
to the shows boomers love because they literally had no other options.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you won't get no spending cash.
But every once in a while, this supercomputer manages to calculate something about all this might not be on the up and up.
I have questions. What is it? How did this happen? She came here because we're all what? What was that about? What aren't you telling me? Why are there no other children in Westview?
Am I dead?
Why would you think that?
Because you are.
Because the big question of the series isn't so much what's gonna happen, but more, what the f is even happening?
I don't know, and I don't know.
In a story that's really about Wanda's grief and finding acceptance. The acceptance that no matter how original a Marvel thing starts off, it still has to end with a sky beam and 2 CGI dolls throwing particle effects at each other. It's just so meaningful. This reminds me of my own struggles. I'm sorry, I just need a second. But there's more to the show than an expanding red bubble of sadness that makes America great again. Step outside the hex to meet characters like Darcy, the latest phase of Marvel's image rehab campaign for Thor: The Dark World. Jimmy Woo, the only cop who's also into close-up magic that anyone could ever love. And Monica Rambeau, who grows from a knowing commentary on TV's Black Best Friend trope into an actual example of TV's Black Best Friend trope.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
And finally, into a superhero who could one day become Marvel's first Black Best Friend trope. In space! Together, they'll take on some brand new villains, like this generic military jerk-ass, Dottie, who... Actually, Dottie doesn't really matter. And the head witch in charge, Agatha Harkness, a well-brewed concoction of 1 part Maleficent and 2 parts Cruella de Vil.
And I killed Sparky, too.
Let your love for Katherine Hahn blind you to the fact that her plan doesn't make a ton of sense, and her past implies that the Salem witch trials were kinda onto something. And despite what her absolute bop of a theme song claims,
It's been Agatha all along.
she barely knows what's going on either.
I need you to tell me how you did this.
Couldn't make heads or tails of it.
It's been Wanda's repressed trauma all along, but Agatha kinda nudged her in that direction. Doesn't exactly top the charts though, huh? Are you a hardcore Marvel fan? Then you know WandaVision wasn't meant to be enjoyed, but dissected frame by frame to predict what's coming next. As this show spawned a QAnon-style army of forecasters who were so sure that Mephisto was behind it all.
The devil's in the details, Bev.
That's not the only place he is.
Nope, just a deep-cut Easter egg. Evan Peters' casting was proof of the multiverse. Wrong, just an elaborate boner joke.
Boner.
And that the last episode had to have a Luke Skywalker-level cameo.
I work with this actor that I have always wanted to work with.
Oh!
And we have fireworks together.
How about Paul Bettany giving himself head instead? Why can't you just accept the fact that the big bad for the MCU's first Disney Plus series was grief? Does Feige have to spell it out on an announcement board or something? So if you've been feeling sad and hopeless lately and just want to mentally check out and fill all the voids in your life with garbage TV, catch the story of a superhero who does pretty much exactly that. And at the end of the day, after all the trauma, follow her to the place all Marvel characters go once their arcs are done. Some lonely-ass cabin in the woods.
I'm so lonely. I'm so blue.
Starring I'm a witch, I'm a mother, and Avenger had a brother. Wanda's no scrunch.
I'll see you at curtain call. That was radical. He had the skin thing. Cuddles and kisses between his little ears.
Weekend at Betney's. What white nonsense is this? Agatha Crispy. A Spectrum representative will arrive anytime between the hours of 1 and 9 p.m. Boner. Save the cat. Woo's Clues. Wrecking Ralph.
The only way Ralph would remember our anniversary is if there was a beer named June 2nd. What Ralph could really use is how to goose your wife so you don't lose your wife. Ralph looks better in the dark, so I'm not complaining. Not that Ralph ever wants to eat anything other than baked beans, which explains a lot about his personal appeal, mind you. You sure you don't want an audience volunteer named My Husband Ralph? Oh.
Hey, where'd you blow me? Wanda's twin powers, activate. Going through Hex. And what is this show, if not joy disappearing?
Do you have a brother, Mom? He's far away from here, and that makes me sad sometimes.
He was killed by Ultron.
Maria died 3 years ago.
Before what? I can't remember my life before Westview. I don't know who I am.
You probably suppressed a lot of the trauma.
You're so crippled by your own self-doubt.
All you people who left still have the luxury of optimism. You have no idea what it was like.
All is lost.
I only remember feeling completely alone. Endless nothingness.
So much trauma.
It can't all be sorrow, can it?
Parents dead, brother dead, vision dead.
I have a daughter. If you could just let her out of her room. If I could just hold her.
I can't feel you. Thanks for choosing me to be your mom. You are my sadness.
Hex in the City. If Wanda ever needs backup, she should just call her neighbor Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon.
I'm too old for this.
From the streaming service with the biggest gap between quality of content and suckage of interface comes Marvel's latest Avengers you didn't really care about until they got their own TV show. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Who's next, Hawkeye? Of course. When a rogue super soldier is on the loose, the only thing that can stop her is a few shots from a regular gun. But since the story has to last 6 episodes, 2 of Marvel's weakest heroes are on the case. Sam the Falcon Wilson, a man with the power of a jetpack he rents from the Air Force. And Bucky the Winter Soldier Barnes. Proof that men will literally scour the criminal safe haven of Madripoor instead of going to therapy.
You missed your court-mandated therapy. Sorry, Mr. Barnes, you're under arrest.
But when these not even that opposite military guys have to work together, you'll be in for a lot of forced bickering.
That's not a thing.
That's definitely a thing.
No, it's not.
A lot of forced quips, now that Falcon is technically the funny one.
And he mastered posing stoically.
And so much forced talk about Cap's old shield that you'll start to wish Cap was short for Please Decapitate Me.
Thank you, Captain America. But this belongs to you.
Let's take the shield and do this ourselves.
You gotta give me the shield, man.
He gave you that shield for a reason. Why'd you give up that shield?
You had no right to give up the shield, Sam.
Shouldn't have given him the shield.
I didn't give him the shield.
That shield's the closest thing I've got left to a family.
It's just a shield, bro. Don't lose your arm over it. You know, you'd think he would know that there's a button that pops his arm off. I mean, doesn't he ever play with that thing? Return to the military espionage side of the MCU, where the morals are as gray as the visuals, full of shady characters like Zemo, a fancy dancer who talks about the black experience one too many times for someone who blew up the King of Wakanda.
I told him about Trouble Man. He wrote it in that book.
It is a masterpiece, James. It captures the African-American experience.
Sharon Carter, who's grown bitter and resentful since the man she stalked for a living went back in time to bang her great aunt. And John Walker, the heir apparent to the Kool-Aid guy. Oh yeah! He may look the part, but this blonde-haired hunk still isn't ready to take on the mantle of America's next Kurt Russell. Also, Julia Louis-Dreyfus pops up at the end, because everyone in Hollywood is obligated to join the MCU at this point. You're next, Costanza.
This whole universe is against me.
No one will escape the fury of the Flag Smashers, a movement with a nefarious plan to deliver food and medicine to refugees. But don't worry, they'll kill just enough people to qualify as villains.
I agree with your fight. I just can't get with the way you're fighting it.
You tell him, Falcon. She needs to join the military first. That's the MCU's license to kill. To combat his rising threat of poor people having nowhere to live, Sam must become a new kind of Captain America, one who will call out the problems with our system.
Look, you people have just as much power as an insane god.
Then ask them to do better and hope that it changes anything.
You've got to do better, Senator.
Honestly, the fact that this speech works is the least realistic part of the MCU, and they share a universe with this guy. So enjoy a show that feels like a stretched-out B-tier Marvel movie that annoyingly makes you stay up late to watch every episode unless you want it spoiled on Twitter. Ah, dang it! In this enjoyable series that deepens existing characters, brings some big-budget action to the small screen, and adds crucial new information to the Marvel Universe. The Avengers don't get paid.
How do you guys make a living?
There's a tremendous amount of goodwill.
Right, but you couldn't have been living off of goodwill this whole time. We cannot approve you. Is there some kind of fun for heroes, or?
So this is why Scarlet Witch drives a Buick. Starring...
The Black Falcon was denied a bank loan.
I, Stan Sebastian. Baron's Dance Grooves. The Carter 2. A Wolf in Veep's Clothing. Goldie Spawn. Just when I thought this country couldn't get any meaner, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. Power Punch Girl. It's those Antifa super soldiers I've been hearing about. And Sam's on a boat. Sam's on a boat. Everybody look at Sam, cause he's sailing on a boat. Sam's on a boat. Sam's on a boat. Take a good hard look at Sam's sister's parents' boat. Sky Captain and the Shield of Tomorrow.
Let's do it. Let's stare.
They're practically begging us to do a stairs montage, huh?
Are you having a staring contest?
The bionic staring machine.
Does he always just stare like that?
Wait, cut the music. No. You can't stare bait us like that. Your stares are too forced. Stares have to be natural.
You're doing the staring thing again.
They've done heart-wrenching examinations of pain and grief, meditations on America's betrayal of black soldiers. But now, a Marvel series is ready to take on life's biggest question. How long would it take for you to do yourself? About a week tops, right? Loki. Now that Marvel's killed off its only good villains, they'll turn back in time to pluck Loki from the Avengers, dress him like he's in a ska band, and do a speed run through 3 movies worth of character development.
I love you, my sons. Remember this, please.
But honestly, I'm glad they made the show. Tom Hiddleston hasn't been this charming since that POV Chinese vitamin commercial.
Probably be a bit busy for the next few weeks. But, I'll make it up to you soon, I promise.
Is he supposed to be my husband, or are we having an affair? Either way, I'm in. Follow Loki's journey through space and time to escape the clutches of the TVA, a bunch of time cops tasked with a sacred duty to try and make the word prune happen.
They want to personally oversee the variant's pruning.
The TVA has pruned a lot of these guys.
Prune on sight.
No pruning! She's already been pruned.
Just prune it, let's bail.
So you're gonna prune me?
Or he pruned her.
Prune it.
Prune him.
She's self-pruned.
Watch them clean up the MCU timeline with the ruthless efficiency of Kevin Feige murdering a Netflix series. Because apparently, the only version of events that's allowed to happen is the one where a rat saves half of existence and Captain America goes back in time to beat his own ass. Take a number, Tommy boy, because this isn't just a showcase for one Loki. There's an entire Comic-Con's worth of variants to cosplay as. Like Sylvie, the femme fatale who spent her life camping out in various Ragnaroks, making it hard for her to trust someone.
I can't sleep around untrustworthy people. What was I thinking, trusting you?
Because you can't trust, and I can't be trusted.
and even harder for her to open up to the possibility that she might just want to do herself. And I mean, come on, most people do themselves every day, like multiple times a day, and the timeline is just fine. Trust me. There's classic Loki, proving that Richard E. Grant can make you love any character, even if he's dressed like Kermit the Frog and talking nonsense for 30 minutes straight. Kid Loki, who murdered Thor. But like, Kid Thor, all you have to do is dangle a candy bar near a wood chipper and let nature take its course. Alligator Loki, he is an alligator. And Chinese vitamin commercial Loki. What? You can't tell me that's not an extremely health-conscious Loki variant. I mean, just look how many vegetables you made me for breakfast.
Oh, 还有你的上船.
They're joined by Mobius, a bureaucrat who's obsessed with Loki, and jet skis, which makes him the perfect partner for the man who's also obsessed with Lokis and jet skis. See? Jet ski. Then there's Judge Renslayer, an evil bureaucrat who discovers that she's actually middle management, not upper middle management like she thought. Gasp. Miss Minutes, just one of many multimedia presentations the show has to use to explain what's going on without your eyes glazing over.
Your salad is Asgard.
No, don't do...
And Kang the Conqueror's annoying theater kid variant, journey to the Hogwarts at the end of the universe to meet Marvel's next bad guy with a thing for purple. And thrill as after 5 episodes of fast-paced excitement, Kang plops into the series like the architect from Matrix 2 if he also did improv.
You can't kill me because I already know what's going to happen.
The first Matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime.
All the stuff the TVA didn't know about, I knew. All I have to do is manage the flow of time and prevent any further
imperfection inherent in every human being. Thus I redesigned it, based on your history. I have since come to understand the answer you gave me because it required a lesser mind, or perhaps a mind less bound by the parameters of
ages and ages of cosmic harmony.
This scene is 11 minutes long. When Marvel needed to get trippy, they called up Rick and Morty writer Michael Waldron to run the show, and he's bringing along a grab bag of wildly original concepts like portal guns, space lizards, barely escaping planets before they're destroyed, speeches about how existence is chaos.
Existence is chaos.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die.
Hive minds.
Me, I presume.
If anyone's anyone, you're me.
My passion for unification.
You mean stealing people's bodies?
Summer, rude.
Tech that's always running out of juice.
You're out of juice.
Characters very precisely and cuttingly breaking each other down psychologically.
Insecure need for validation would motivate you to find the killer.
You act like prey, but you're a predator. You use pity to lure in your victims. It's how you survive.
Getting drunk during big missions.
You're drunk.
No, I'm just full, but bear in mind, I'm very full.
And time prison.
You know what they do to third-dimensional life forms in time prison? Same thing they do in every other prison, only forever.
Wow, where do they get all these ideas? I guess there was nothing left to steal from Jack Kirby, huh?
Strap in for what's ultimately a small-scale series that manages to feel huge thanks to massive animated establishing shots. Like when you witness the apocalypse of this world from an empty crater. Enter an infernal nightmare bureaucracy that stretches to infinity. Now let's retire to this office. And welcome to the void at the center of time and reality. But quick, into that bowling alley. So, if you're ready to be stuffed with content like a foie gras goose, enjoy the show that gets you ready for a movie, that gets you ready for the next wave of the MCU, that gets you ready for season 2 of the show, that gets you ready for death. And as long as they keep making B+ content while keeping every good actor from doing anything original, this machine is gonna keep cranking until we're all in Waterworld. Darkest Timeline! Woo! Starring Loki on God.
Loke be a lady tonight.
The Setting Crashers. BF Kangs. The Old Guard. He Who Rehashes. Gators Will Say It's Fake. Dramatic weapon unsheathing.
For my next trick, love is a dagger.
Find a way back to the TVA!
Fine.
Come and get me!
Betrayals.
I'd never stab anyone in the back. That's such a boring form of betrayal.
Judge Renslayer really feel betrayed by her beloved TBA.
I guess you don't do partners. Unless, of course, it benefits you and you intend to betray them at some point.
How do I know that in the final moments you won't betray me?
You betrayed me.
No, you betrayed me.
You betrayed me. You betrayed me. Oh, grow up. Grow up.
Apologies, my liege. I betrayed you.
About that.
You can't be serious.
My throne. About that.
And hair flips. Chrono Trigger. You know, this never would have happened if Tony Stark had just let Hulk use the elevator. He really is responsible for every bad thing in this universe. She helped Tony get his mojo back, helped Bruce reconnect with his humanity, helped Cap find his true purpose, and helped Hawkeye, keep being Hawkeye.
Baby, you want to go talk to him, okay? Go grab your hammer, and you go fly and you talk to him.
But now, Natasha finally gets to tell her own story about the time she helped her own replacement join the MCU. Black Widow. You've been waiting to see the MCU's first female superhero get her own movie. And waiting, and waiting, and waiting. But Natasha Romanoff is finally getting the mid-tier solo Marvel movie she deserves. Because the ultimate sign of respect in pop culture is getting your chance to keep important Object X out of the hands of military leader Y by taking down massive airship Z. I know Marvel's taking some risks here and there, but this one definitely sticks to the old plan.
So, this was the big plan, huh?
I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan.
We need a plan of attack.
I have a plan. Attack.
First of all, you're copying me from when I said I had a plan.
What about our plan? American bachelors in Europe.
That's your plan. That's a solo plan. Come on, this is my plan.
My plan was to drive us away. It's a plan.
Get to know the real Natasha Romanoff, a woman struggling to overcome the trauma of being a child actor.
I remember this day. We shot Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and summer vacation all on one day.
She's got nothing but her wits and flips to protect her in a dangerous world of super spies. Although at some point she entered the cheat code that turns off environmental damage.
What?
And for one scene, she turns into Mega Man, but they never mention it again.
What?
Journey to Russia, where everyone speaks with their best, let's call it Sokovian accent, or just doesn't even try.
How was the family reunion?
Unless you're actually from Eastern Europe, in which case, you are mute. And meet the surrogate family who raised Black Widow back in her 90s Ghost World phase. There's Red Guardian, David Harbour's latest attempt to hide in a Siberian prison until everyone forgets about the Hellboy remake. Melina, a monster war criminal who tortures pigs. And played a willing, active role in kidnapping little girls and brainwashing them into fembots. But she regrets it, so no harm, no foul, mama.
Take care of yourself, okay? Don't worry, I got this.
And Yelena, the mischievous little braided hair sister from Little Women, who's now the mischievous little braided hair sister who's murdered untold hundreds of people.
I'm not the killer that little girls call their hero.
I don't know, Yelena. Say 3 cute things about your vest and I'll take a whole Russian prison's worth of dead bodies off your ledger.
It has a lot of pockets. But I use them all the time, and I made some of my own modifications. I know how much you like it.
It does have a lot of pockets.
Very handy pockets, yeah. It's so cool, right?
It's good. Yes.
And you can put so much stuff in there. You wouldn't even know.
Aw, she likes the vest. So cute.
This would be a cool way to die.
I'm sure they deserved it. Thrill at a story that dares to ask, what if the most powerful force on Earth, girl power, fell into the wrong hands? As the evil mastermind Harvey Dracoff builds a floating fortress that evades detection because it's cloudy and uses the power of his colossal stank to keep him safe.
Smelling my pheromones prevents you from committing violence against me.
He's infiltrated the halls of power with a sister soldierhood of mind-controlled assassins. And doing his evil bidding is the Taskmaster, a martial artist with the ability to mimic any hero's moves, but none of their personality or charisma.
Smile.
Because now that Marvel has themselves a Deadpool, someone had to become the Deadpool from Wolverine Origins. So if you're looking for a La Femme Nikita, but a lot, or what if Charlie's Angels, but evil, or what if propaganda was used to twist trafficked young girls towards the nefarious purposes of the rich and powerful, including Bill Clinton and Condoleezza Rice, but could also be a ride at Disneyland. Then strap in for a movie that's good at being pretty much everything except a Black Widow solo film. Starring Sister Traitor Soldier Spy, Florence and the Regime, Super Borat, The Manservant's Tale.
Oh, a wise spy, eh?
Babe, Pig in the Study. Oi, bruv, they call me Dreykov, isn't it? The Hurt Stalker, The Winter Sold Her, Minnie Jovovich, Venice the Menace, and the most brutal murder in Black Widow's history.
You've always been a really good friend to me.
In Soviet Russia, M sees you. Wow, I wonder which full-grown adult managed to lose at tic-tac-toe. Hawkeye. Definitely Hawkeye. From the studio, you know the one. There's only 2 of them left now anyways. Comes a series based on silly comic books, like what if Iron Man fought King Arthur? Or what if Wolverine was a vampire? That dares to imagine something even more ridiculous. What if MCU writers could try something new? But not new, just a slight remix of some old favorites. Let's not go too crazy here. Marvel's What If. Enjoy some wild animated experiments that stay true to the MCU by having no real beginning or end, no real message to get behind, and every character, from the most hardened warrior to the most powerful cosmic being, speaks like an AI barfing out Chandler Bing dialogue.
I simply abhor drama.
Your outfit would suggest otherwise.
Guys, I'm covered in Sharon.
Do you guys just not have horror movies in Wakanda?
We don't need them. We have American reality shows.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Right now, you're running at an 8, and I need you to take it down to a 4.
Your team building instincts need work.
Yeah. Tell it to HR.
Okay, I don't sound like that. That is so not true.
That happened. Meet the Watcher, the other extremely powerful comics character who swore never to intervene in human affairs that we're meeting this fall. He's a messy bitch who lives for drama, and this Jeffrey Wright-shaped planetarium will guide you through alternate timelines, like what if England had a pop culture icon who wasn't a sociopath? What if every franchise was better without Chris Pratt? What if all the Avengers died and also Agent Coulson was a 5 on the Kinsey scale?
He's a Caucasian male, mid-20s, with really great hair. It's an accurate description. He's gorgeous.
Hashtag Steve. I heart Steve.
Even while rotting, he smells like lavender.
What if the universe had it out for Rachel McAdams? You know, Dr. What's-Her-Face? What if she was the key to all of this? Any interest? What if zombies? You guys still like zombies, right? Sorta? Okay, how about this one? What if Killmonger, the most sympathetic villain in the entire MCU, was just destined to become evil? Like, no matter what, someone should have killed him in his crib. What do you mean this isn't working for you? Fine, we'll do it your way. What if Ultron stole Vision and chopped off Thanos' arm and ate the universe and was like, "Rawr, I'm gonna eat you too!" And the Watcher had to be like, "Not on my watch!" And they start punching, and Avengers fly out, and the robots get hit with the shields again? Okay, you good? Did you little content piggies get what you came for? Come on, why are you crying? Oh, right, this is a show for kids. I forget that sometimes. Kick back and listen to find out which of your favorite actors needed to pick up an extra check during COVID.
Don't play the fool with me, Fury.
Michael Douglas? Really? Then get genuinely choked up when you realize you're hearing Chadwick Boseman do T'Challa for the last time.
It doesn't feel over.
And finally, wonder what Dave Bautista did that caused Disney not to even reach out. All right, principles. But regardless, thrill as a bunch of million-dollar voices emerge from heroes who look like the caricatures you pay $10 for at a town fair. Because while Disney's built its entire brand on top-quality animation, everyone deserves a break now and then. It's been a tough year. Are we sure they didn't buy DreamWorks too? You know what's hot right now? The multiverse. And after Endgame helped set up the idea of the multiverse, and WandaVision teased the possibilities of the multiverse, and Loki explained the scope of the multiverse, and Doctor Strange 2 gives us multiverse madness, What If will drive the message of the multiverse home even further. We're all one of an infinite number of variants going through the same Our struggle seen only by a voyeuristic space walnut who could save us from our fates at any time but won't. Wow. There had to be an easier way than killing free will to explain why Terrence Howard can't play Rhodey anymore or whatever. He thinks 1 × 1 is 2. So if you want to see your favorite Marvel characters and exciting new stories that stretch the imagination, buy a comic book. But if you want more of the things you already liked, combined with other things you already liked, resulting in something slightly less than the sum of its parts, well, what if there was nothing else to watch until Eternals comes out? Wow, look at him stand there. Can't wait. Starring. I only watch the multiverse for the articles. You Captain America. The cat is the Pratt. Someone, please take this man's driver's license. Glove, Death, and Robots. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Scarlett Johansson. Gundam Wang. Futurama did it. Asgardian Pie. Precario. Hentai Squid. And
This is what happens when you mess with a mouse, Robert.
You have to die.
Oh, I'm gonna bomb. I'm definitely gonna bomb.
But why? Male ducks have corkscrew penises. Just putting that out there.
I now pronounce you Darcy and a duck.
Disney gave Cap and Tony Chinese cell phones, replaced a Tibetan hero with Tilda Swinton, and thanked prison camp bureaucrats at the end of Mulan. But now, the Magic Kingdom will pander to the Middle Kingdom by making a pretty kick-ass martial arts movie. Okay, it's better than that time they dropped a full episode of ER Shanghai and Iron Man 3.
全世界将失去一个伟大的英雄，
而且全世界人将知道。
我修理好了 paper， 敲打了一会儿，然后我想，
他管那么多人，谁考虑他啊？
I am shocked this wasn't in the American cut. Shang-Chi. For the very first time, the MCU is bringing a martial arts master from the comics to the screen. Yep, the very first time.
The Iron Fist.
La 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 la, sorry, can't hear you. As audiences finally get to know Shang-Chi, a guy whose most relatable quality is that he's also getting to know Shang-Chi.
Who are you? Your mother knew who she was. Do you? Who the hell are you?
I'm not who you think I am.
Just like Spider-Man, he's a Parker with a secret identity, because underneath his obligatory abs beats the heart of a martial arts master. Martial arts expert. Martial arts enthusiast. But nothing will come between this one-punch man-child and the ultimate power fantasy. No, not joining the Avengers. Kicking your father's ass. Oedipus Punch! The MCU's greatest threat has returned. Bad dads. Tony Leung shines as the most seamless example yet of digitally de-aged actors. What do you mean he still looks like that? Wow, not bad. Kneel before this ancient warlord who still doesn't know the difference between rings and bracelets, who gave up all his power for a lady who blew him in the woods. In addition to his 10 magic bracelets, he also commands the 10 rings, a secret group like Hydra, or S.H.I.E.L.D., or Sword, or the Skrulls, or the Hand, or the Eternals. But what sets them apart from Marvel's other Illuminatis, and presumably Marvel's Illuminati, is that the 10 rings provide exciting new opportunities in the world of evil franchising.
He appropriated the 10 rings. My 10 rings.
Open up a 10 rings in a country near you. We're more than just an evil franchise. We're an evil family. 20% cash down payment required. Journey to Ta Lo, presumably the inspiration for ancient Chinese legends, ancient Middle-earth legends.
快来救我！
and legendary Pokemon for a film that blends the action comedy of a Jackie Chan flick with the high-flying combat of Wuxia and the CGI toilet slurry of a Marvel third act. Because while an emotional, expertly choreographed martial arts showdown between father and son is cool, isn't it way cooler when a bunch of weightless polygons smash into each other? No? Then why does it keep happening? Xiang won't have to fight alone. He's joined by his sister, Zhao Ling, who learned to fight just by auditing classes at Murder University. Trevor Slatterly, who pissed nerds off so much in Iron Man 3 that his only friend is a psychic chicken made out of butts.
Where's his face?
Psychic butt chicken. And Aquafina, who pulls off 4 classic Marvel roles at the same time. Platonic love interest, reaction face giver, the that just happened sidekick.
A guy with a freaking machete for an arm just chopped our butts in half. Sean used the 10 rings to do this crazy Kamehameha fireball that exploded the thing. That dragon vomited a magical water map, and now I have no idea what's real.
And Hawkeye. Upgrade. So for a franchise whose roots are an openly racist money grab, enjoy a film that does its part to smash those stereotypes, except the one about Asian dudes being the biggest sneakerheads, in this solid martial arts fantasy flick full of fun characters that refreshingly stands on its own without resorting to crossovers and team-ups. Until after the credits, of course.
They don't match any artifacts from our codex.
They're not vibranium.
Not like any alien tech I've seen.
This could have been an email. Starring Destiny's Child Soldier, Ring Pop, House of Flying Swagger, The Human Calendar.
We've been friends for 10 years, okay? You know I'm not an idiot. I've been by your side for half your life.
Your dad trained you to be an assassin when you were 7. He sent you on a hit at 14.
Can you punch with all the colors of the wind? Deputy Dog.
I'm sorry, your name is Razor Fist?
AntMan. Render the Last Dragon.
Your soul is mine.
A Normal Day on the SF Metro. And how Marvel casts its male heroes.
Love that guy. I'll take your shirt off.
Once Upon a Time in a China-adjacent pocket dimension. So Shang-Chi works with cars. He's not proud of who he used to be, and he has a difficult relationship with his dad. Something about that backstory seems convenient. In a world where a bankrupt comic book company sold the film rights to its best characters for peanuts because they thought movies would be a good way to sell more comics, a young executive will do what he can with the rejects that no one wanted and do so well they get bought out by Disney before it was cool. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, except for Endgame. Welcome to the MCU, a TV series made of movies about comic books, where magic is actually science.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science.
But not by magic, by technology.
Magic.
Science. But science is basically magic.
Boy Scouts of
Boy
America.
Scouts of America?
Yes, it is a worthwhile organization. I didn't physically check the crates.
And meet your typical MCU protagonist, a loner with no pets, no biological siblings, and whose only friends are their co-workers. Aww, whose personality can range from lighthearted quipster.
I'm sorry, Earth is closed today.
To stern, duty-bound military type.
You get hurt, hurt him back. You get killed, walk it off.
And on a long enough timeline, everyone becomes a quipster.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Follow along on their heroes' journeys, where after a motivating Uncle Ben situation, they'll get a transformational hairstyle, cut some carbs, and find the strength to boldly say their superhero name out loud.
I'm Captain America.
I am Iron Man.
I'm Thor, son of Odin.
I'm Ant-Man.
I am Groot.
Nick Fury.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. I'm Spider-Man, then.
Star-Lord.
Who? But people say a hero is only as good as their villain. And thank God that's not true, or the MCU would be hot garbage. Thrill as they spare 10 minutes to establish a bad guy who's just like the hero, but evil. or a faceless horde. Can't feel bad if it doesn't have a face. Or actually a pretty awesome character and they're dead. But everyone knows the real villain of the MCU is dads.
He was cold. He was calculating. He never told me he loved me. He never even told me he liked me.
You favored Thor all these years.
You were wrong to turn your backs on the rest of the world.
Everything I hate about myself, he told me.
Well, of course I have issues. That's my freaking father!
I will hunt my father like a dog and I will tear him apart slowly, piece by piece, until he knows some semblance of the profound and unceasing pain I know every single day.
Yeah.
Tremble before the girth of a meticulously planned story told across 23 separate movies, all about Thanos killing half the universe. Well, first he has to get an Infinity Gauntlet. No, not that gauntlet.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah, that one. And then gather the Infinity Stones. Well, send proxies to get them. And he gives one away, but eventually he'll get the stones. Some aren't stones.
While the other relics often appear as stones, the ether is fluid.
But then he'll kill half the universe, which also doesn't make much sense. Oh, also, the timeline doesn't work out. Maybe this wasn't so planned out after all. But the films do sort nicely into 3 distinct phases. The conventional pop songs phase, the boundary-pushing experimental phase, then the woo, we can do no wrong, I'm a golden god phase. And if Rock Docs have taught me anything, phase 4 will have the MCU puking in the gutter, wondering where it all went wrong. Journey from the farthest reaches of Viking space, to alternate dimensions, to the wonders of Earth. Oops, that one's Utopia. And marvel at how everything still kinda looks and feels the same, as visionary indie filmmakers are funneled into the Marvel style of overlit digital video where everything is CGI. Every story is full of sexless romance that never takes off.
No! What the hell?
Bloodless violence that never leaves more than a couple of forehead scrapes.
All that for a drop of blood.
Lifeless soundtracks with more dad rock than you can shake a pair of middle-aged screenwriters at.
Feels so good. Chuck Mangione, 1977.
Marvin Gaye, 1972, Trouble Man soundtrack.
Hooked on a feeling. Blue Swede, 1973, that song belongs to me!
Or toothless comedy that's just saying pop culture things.
So this orb has a real shiny blue suitcase, Ark of the Covenant, Maltese Falcon sort of vibe.
I loved you in A Christmas Story.
Shooting Knight Rider or touring with his band in Germany.
No hard feelings, Point Break. You got a mean swing.
We'll build my new Lego Death Star.
What?
Try me, Beyonce.
That man is playing Galaga.
You ever see this really old movie, Aliens?
We're getting no help from Flash Gordon here.
I'm very popular, y'all!
Shall we play a game?
I can Footloose the movie.
Exactly like Footloose.
Squidward,
Grimace.
Legolas.
Personal flying monkeys.
I understood that reference.
Blue Lagoon.
Gandalf, and Harry Potter.
Oops, that's pixels. So settle in for an interconnected movieverse that had a 1 in 14,605,000 shot of working. But those odds didn't stop every other studio from awkwardly mashing their IPs together like a junior high dance floor, leaving Marvel as the only one standing in a dying industry.
I could do this all day.
But launching a whole new industry of Marvel movie news, theory and analysis, channels that just complain about Marvel movies, and even comedy web series that would have died a long time ago if Marvel movies weren't so popular. So one way or another, in the end, everyone's getting paid by Disney. You shills. Starring science geniuses.
It could achieve heavy ion fusion at any reactor on the planet.
Quantum phase is when an object moves through different states of matter.
An Einstein-Rosen bridge is a theoretical connection between 2 different points of space.
It's a wormhole.
A quantum system would revert back to separate states of matter.
Why didn't you just reprogram the synapses to work collectively?
When did you become an expert in thermonuclear astrophysics?
Last night.
Jumping out of airplanes. People of color. Leg scissors. Trains? Audis. Unless you're AntMan, then you get a Hyundai and you like it. Dual wielding. dick measuring.
You have a big gun. You are not the big gun.
Tony, don't be jealous.
No, it's
Not like raging fire, though I like smoldering fire.
My record, 21 feet.
Not bad.
You?
65 feet.
Whoa.
Yeah, huge. 65.
You get an Iron Man suit, and you get an Iron Man suit, and you get an Iron Man suit. Weird non-Stan Lee cameos.
Hey, the Oracle of Oracle.
Good idea for an electric jet.
Multi-hit combos! Are you sure you know how to fly this thing?
You know how to fly this thing?
We'll see.
I thought you said he knew how to fly this thing.
I said, how hard could it be?
Here, take the wheel.
No, I don't know how to fly one of these.
You're a scientist. Use one of your PhDs.
And never forget that for all of Guardians 1, they're sitting in Star-Lord's jizz.
If I had a black light, the place would look like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Ugh, gross, dude. The never-ending story. Oh man, we forgot to say anything about the ABC shows, Netflix series, one-shots, and spin-offs. So did Kevin Feige. This week's Honest Trailer is brought to you by D&D Beyond's Battle for Beyond. Subscribe to DDB's YouTube to join the battle. I am no longer the Winter Soldier. I am James Bucky Barnes, and you're part of my efforts to make amends. Do I look like I need your power?